Chapter 719. Phew. Xia Ping took a deep breath and circulated the pure young immortal art. After an unknown period of time, he finally refined the surging soul power completely and took it for his own. Immediately, he felt refreshed and unprecedentedly good. Oh. Tu Linglong and the rest seemed to be over there. Xia Ping turned around and immediately sensed that a large number of demons and humans had gathered not far away and seemed to be watching from the side. Swoosh! In a flash, he controlled the golden crow's wings and flew towards the place where the crowd was gathered. However, it would have been fine if Xia Ping did not move. Once he did, he immediately scared the demons into a frenzy. Oh my god, that human is coming. What? He actually came. It's over. It's all over. Run, hurry up and run. If you don't run, you'll die. Many demons were scared half to death and some of their faces turned green. They didn't have a good relationship with Xia Ping. Besides, they were from different races and had a life-and-death feud with each other. Now that Xia Ping was extremely ferocious and flew towards them with the power of annihilating an army of 100,000 demons, one could imagine the panic and fear in their hearts. Although this human might not have any ill intentions, the problem was that it was better to be safe than sorry. If this human had ill intentions and wanted to annihilate their monsters, who would compensate them if they died? Swoosh! Swoosh! The group of demons was scared out of their wits and didn't dare to stay in the same place. When they saw Xia Ping, it was as if they were looking at a plague. Afraid that they couldn't avoid him, they all fled. Some demonic birds flapped their wings and flew high, some land beasts ran wildly, and some insect demons even burrowed into the ground to escape. All of them used all their strength and hated that they didn't have more legs. In just a few breaths, they left where they were and fled in all directions. However, it wasn't just those demons. Even the elite students' expressions changed drastically and they fled into the distance. This scene stunned the surrounding demons. One of them asked curiously, "Why are you running? You are all humans and brothers of the same race. What are you afraid of?" They were bewildered. They were monsters, and they were afraid that this fellow would take their lives. It was one thing for them to escape, but these humans were also running away. They were even running faster than them, like rabbits. What the fuck do all of you know? Xia Ping is infamous in our human world, and he's harmed countless companions. Some course students were exiled to the endless ocean because they offended him, and they were unable to return until they advanced into the king realm. An elite student's countenance turned ghastly pale as he recalled the various rumors about Xia Ping. Although the news of the core members being exiled was kept a secret, it was still very easy for the prodigies of the sovereign family clans like them to know about it. There was no way to hide it. Even those arrogant core students, who looked down on everyone else, were driven mad by this brat. They didn't know if they would ever have the chance to make a name for themselves in this lifetime. Small characters like them would definitely be screwed over by this kid. Don't be fooled by how ruthless he is when it comes to dealing with monsters, but when it comes to us humans, this bastard is even more ruthless. He's the kind that beats us to death. Falling into his hands is a fate worse than death. Some elite students gnashed their teeth in anger. He was both afraid and fearful. More importantly, before the celestial demon battlefield began, we deliberately united others to isolate this kid and make him eat dust when he entered the celestial demon battlefield this time. I didn't expect him to be so fierce. As soon as he entered the battlefield, he killed everyone and had one fortuitous encounter after another. Now, he has advanced to the Grandmaster realm and annihilated an army of 100,000 demons. He's so fierce. Quite a few elite students were regretting so much that their intestines turned green. Why did they have to offend such a ferocious monster because of a moment of impulse? Now, it was great. He had become rich and soared into the heavens. He was starting to stand out and make them look up to him. Previously, they had ignored him, but now, they were simply unable to reach him. Now that they thought about it carefully, they also felt that they were very stupid. How could a true genius be suppressed by their little tricks? A truly capable person would be able to crawl out of a sack even if he was placed in it. There's such a thing. The group of monsters was dumbfounded. They didn't expect that Xia Ping was not only a scourge of the demon race, but also a famous person in the human world. Countless humans hated this kid, but they couldn't do anything about it. In just a few minutes, the group of people ran away, for fear that Xia Ping would catch up with them and torture them. Why are they running so fast? Xia Ping blinked his eyes. He came to the place where the group of monsters and humans had gathered, but before he arrived, this group of guys ran away quickly, completely treating him as a plague. In just a few breaths, there were only a few people left in the originally densely packed open space. Some monsters and humans who ran slower were so scared that their faces turned pale. They ran and shouted, "Don't kill me, don't kill me." They completely regarded Xia Ping as a demon king who was more terrifying than the demons. Huh? Why aren't you running? Xia Ping soon discovered that his lackeys, the Crow of Misfortune, the Three-Eyed Giant, Tu Linglong, the One-Horned Thunder Bull, the Blackwater Explosive Bear, the Metal Tiger, the Hypertoxic Spider, and other monster geniuses were still standing where they were. They didn't run away with the others but stayed where they were. Run my ass. Tu Linglong and the other monsters spat at this human. They had seen Xia Ping's speed just now. It was a speed that even the leader of the demons couldn't escape from. This speed was many times more terrifying than before. It could be said that if this human was bent on chasing someone, he would definitely be able to catch up to them, and there would be nowhere to run. Moreover, they had fireball bombs planted in their bodies, so their lives were in the hands of the human. What if they angered this human because they ran away? They might be directly detonated by this human and die on the spot, following in the footsteps of the Thunder Ape. Therefore, after weighing the pros and cons, they still felt that there was no chance of winning by running away, so they chose to stay. Why are you running? You're our big brother, our comrade who has gone through life and death together. Why are you running away? That's right, we're not the kind of monsters who burn the bridge after crossing it. That's right, we're too happy to see Big Brother again and know that he's still alive. Running away would be madness. The Metal Tiger and the other monsters were fawning over him, but they were cursing in their hearts. Why didn't this human scourge die in that explosion? He's too lucky. God is blind. They were depressed. I didn't expect all of you to be so concerned about me. This makes me very happy. In that case, there's no time to lose. Let's immediately capture some demon geniuses and sell them for money. Xia Ping's eyes were shining with the light of money. If he could capture a few demon geniuses and kidnap them for ransom, he would definitely make a fortune. Chapter 720. Time flew, and more than 10 days had passed in a flash. It had been 3 months since Xia Ping entered the battlefield of the Celestial Demon. Now it was time to leave the battlefield of the Celestial Demon. During these days, Xia Ping had been trying to capture a few more geniuses of the demon clan, but these demons were very cunning. When they saw Xia Ping from afar, they immediately ran away, not giving Xia Ping a chance to catch them. Some timid demons even hid directly until the end of the battlefield of the Celestial Demon. The battlefield of the Celestial Demon was too large. If those demons deliberately wanted to hide somewhere, it would be like looking for a needle in a haystack for Xia Ping to find them. Therefore, Xia Ping's plan to capture some geniuses of the demon clan failed. However, he did gain something else. He found some spiritual herbs along the way. Although they were not as good as the white spirit ginseng fruit, they were still rare spiritual herbs. He even took advantage of this time to take the spiritual liquid to hone his qigong. Finally, he opened another acupoint, which increased his gang qi a lot. After opening another 10 acupoints, he would be able to advance to the second stage of the Supreme Power Realm. I didn't expect to leave so soon. Time really flies. At this time, Xia Ping stood on the top of a mountain with his hands behind his back. He looked a little sad and a little reluctant. After staying in the battlefield of the celestial demon for so long, he had some feelings for it. After all, where could he find such a good place? There were spiritual herbs everywhere, and he could find some occasionally. He even had a demon underling serving him. If there was any danger, the underling would immediately help him eliminate it. He didn't need to do anything at all. It was not an exaggeration to say that this was the extravagant life of a local tycoon. If he returned to the outside world, he would not have such benefits. Fly my ass. Tu Linglong and the other demons wanted nothing more than to bite this human to death. To him, this was an incomparably joyful and memorable journey of time flying by. But for them, it was simply torture, and a day felt like a year. They wanted 3 months to pass at once, so they could quickly leave the battlefield of the celestial demon and stay away from this shameless human. They were also geniuses of the demon clan. If they were in their own clan, they would be like princes and princesses with a high status and many servants. Now, they, the geniuses of the demon clan, were serving this shameless human, who shouted at them like they were his subordinates. This was simply a hellish life. They would never forget it for the rest of their lives. If they could go back in time, they would rather die than come to the celestial demon battlefield. That's right, time flies. Big bro, if there's nothing else, we'll go back to the 1,000 Monster Mountain. If there's anything in the future, we can contact each other again. The Crow of Misfortune shouted. It rolled its eyes and immediately wanted to slip away. Tu Linglong and the other demons also tore the heavenly demon talismans on their bodies and teleported away from this place. Xia Ping smiled and said, "What's the rush? You guys have probably been sick of staying in the Wanya Mountain. Come with your big brother to the human world as a guest. You'll be able to eat delicious food and drink spicy drinks. I guarantee you guys will have a pleasant journey. Of course, if you don't want to, I won't force you. After all, I'm not a person who forces others to do things against their will. As the saying goes, a melon that is forcefully twisted is not sweet." The Crow of Misfortune and the other demons bared their teeth, feeling a little nauseous. If a despicable human like you isn't someone who forces others against their will, then there's no one else in the world. They also heard the hidden meaning in Xia Ping's words. If they dared to act blindly without thinking, he would definitely detonate the bomb and blow them up mercilessly. Obviously, this damned human really decided to kidnap them and extort money from their own race. This human's guts were simply boundless. Big bro, if we don't go back for a long time, I'm afraid the elders in the family will be worried, especially my father, the Crow King. He has a very bad temper, and when he gets angry, even he is afraid. The Crow of Misfortune reminded. If it was really kidnapped by Xia Ping and extorted money, it would definitely offend a monster king. The consequences would be very serious. Moreover, this brat didn't just kidnap one, he kidnapped a total of 7. It's fine, let your father come as a guest. My house is very big, and there are many guest rooms. It's not a problem. Xia Ping said with a smile, unmoved. Did he think that the so-called Monster King could scare him? What a joke. When he returned to the human world, even if this so-called Crow King could ascend to the heavens, he wouldn't be able to cause trouble for him. Come as a guest. The faces of the Crow of Misfortune and the other demons turned green. Could it be that this guy was planning to kidnap the Monster Kings as well? This human's guts were simply too fat. However, they had no choice but to lower their heads in the face of Xia Ping's oppression. Let's go. Xia Ping immediately tore the Monster King talisman. With a boom, a golden light burst out and instantly enveloped Xia Ping, Tu Linglong, and the other demons. Swoosh! In the next second, they disappeared on the spot and were directly teleported out. At this moment, in various parts of the Sky Demon battlefield, countless demons and human elites also knew that they could finally leave. Some of the demons who had avoided Xia Ping's pursuit were so touched that they burst into tears. It's time. It's finally time. Damn, in order to escape the pursuit of that human devil, I have been hiding everywhere. I'm as miserable as a dog. Isn't that so? Every day, I slept in the open and ate fur and drank blood just to reduce the chances of being exposed. Don't even mention how miserable it was. Fortunately, the bitter days are finally over. We can also enjoy the sweet after suffering. Damn it. Who said that this trip to the Sky Demon battlefield was a vacation? If I don't kill him when I return, I'll change my surname to his. Countless demons sighed. They felt like they had survived a calamity. It could be said that the past 3 months had been the most difficult 3 months of their lives. They were in excruciating pain. They were also elites of the demon race, but they had been frightened to such a state by a human. It was simply humiliating. I wonder how the Crow of Misfortune and the rest are doing now. Are they still being held hostage by that despicable human? A demon suddenly thought of the Crow of Misfortune and the other demons. How can they escape after being targeted by that devil? Don't mention those demon traitors. Just the mention of them infuriates me. They actually betrayed the demons. They must be killed. They didn't do it on purpose. They only did it because they were forced by that human. Bullshit. Which demon traitor wasn't forced? He surrendered after being frightened. We demons don't have such cowards. Apart from Saintess Tu Ling Long, the other demons should be captured and killed as a warning to others. Many demons gnashed their teeth at the Crow of Misfortune and the other demons. They hated the actions of the demon traitors and wished that they could destroy their corpses and erase all evidence. Unfortunately, the demon traitors stayed by Xia Ping's side, preventing them from finding an opportunity to attack. Let's go. Let's return to Myriad Demon Mountain. Chapter 721. At this time, in the outside world, a super battleship was docked in an open space. Some guards and many monarchs were waiting there. They were all quietly waiting because today was the day the human elites would come out of the celestial beast battlefield. I wonder how those elite students are doing now. Could he have been killed by those demons? Someone asked worriedly. Among experts of the same cultivation level, monsters' talents and battle prowess were superior to humans. In a real battle, humans were at a disadvantage. Often, several humans combined could only defeat one. Therefore, humans were always at a disadvantage on the celestial demon battlefield. There were also some human monstrous geniuses who could rival the geniuses of the demon clan and even defeat them. The problem was that such people were in the minority. That's impossible. No matter what, they are all elites of humanity. They were chosen through slaughter. How could they die so easily? Someone shook his head. He didn't think that the elite students would be at a disadvantage. That's true. The geniuses of our human race are not to be underestimated. In any case, those who survived the Sky Fiend battlefield will definitely become pillars of humanity in the future. Let's wait and see. Very soon, we will know how many people survived. Many people nodded their heads. They were also very confident in the geniuses of the human race. Even if their talents were slightly inferior to the geniuses of the demon race, their martial skills, experience, and resources would not lose to the geniuses of the demon race. If they really fought to the death, it was unknown who would win and who would lose. By the way, isn't there a young man called Xia Ping? I heard that he's the champion of this year's genius battle. I wonder how he's doing. A king tier mentioned Xia Ping. Although this kid is the champion of the genius contest, he is only at the 8th layer of martial master. He is still a distance away from becoming a grandmaster. Indeed. Geniuses like Feng Qiudao have long reached the peak of the 9th layer of the martial master realm. Once they enter, they will be able to break through to the grandmaster realm, increasing their strength by several folds. Xia Ping is still lacking compared to a grandmaster. If he comes back in a few years, I reckon that Xia Ping will definitely be an influential figure. But now, he's still a little too young. Fortunately, Xia Ping is still young and has plenty of opportunities. We can't expect too much from him this time. Many kings were chatting casually. Boom! Suddenly, a massive wormhole appeared in the sky. It was unknown where the wormhole led to, but it exuded a mysterious and profound aura. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Immediately, streaks of golden light flickered, and figures appeared in the wormhole before quickly landing on the ground. They were the elite students that had entered the celestial demon battlefield. Soon, they were standing on the ground. Some had injured arms, some had torn clothes like beggars, and some had their heads wrapped like dumplings. Almost all of them had injuries on their bodies. It was completely imaginable what sort of difficulties they encountered in the heavenly demon battlefield. It was simply a narrow escape from death. He's out, he's finally out. Great, I've finally left that damned place. I've stayed long enough. This is the air of freedom, the air of safety. It feels so good. Many elite students were extremely excited. Leaving the Sky Demon battlefield meant that they no longer needed to constantly be on guard against evil fiends and demon attacks. They didn't have to face life or death crises at all times and tense their nerves. To them, this was like returning to heaven from hell. All of them were incomparably happy. Fuck, what's going on? Why are there demons here? Instantly, some kings noticed that Xia Ping had brought 6 or 7 demon race heaven's favorites with him. All of their auras were extremely powerful and had reached the Grandmaster realm. Of course, they weren't afraid of anything. After all, there were dozens of king tiers here. Even if the 1,000 Demon Mountain attacked, they could resist for a while. Hearing this, the surrounding elite students had very strange expressions. Of course, they knew why, but it wasn't their turn to speak now. Xia Ping, what's going on with these demons around you? Yanhuang University's vice-chancellor, Lu Shuwen, asked. He looked curiously at the few demons around Xia Ping. He could feel that these few demons had rich bloodlines. They were all descendants of demon kings and had amazing talent. In particular, the rabbit emitted the power of time and space. It was extremely mysterious, as if it had a natural body. Even in the 1,000 Demon Mountain, such a demon would be a descendant with a very high status. Chancellor, they are my spoils of war, Xia Ping said casually. Spoils of war. All the king tiers present were dumbfounded. This was the first time they had heard of someone entering the Sky Demon battlefield and bringing back a few demon race heaven's favorites as spoils of war. It was simply unheard of. Chancellor Lu Shuwen looked at Xia Ping with a strange expression. Spoils of war. What does that mean? It means exactly what it means. Xia Ping looked at Chancellor Lu Shuwen and told him his plan. He wanted to capture a few demon race geniuses and extort them for money. What? The surrounding king tiers were completely dumbfounded. Did this kid know what he was talking about? He actually wanted to capture a few demon race heaven's favorites to extort money from the 1,000 Demon Mountain? How could this kid be so daring? Was this something a human could do? Without a doubt, once this matter was spread, the entire 1,000 Demon Mountain would be shocked. Countless king tiers would want to skin this kid alive and kill him as soon as possible. After all, for hundreds of years, humans had fought with the demon race. There had been many victories and defeats, but they had never tried to extort money from the 1,000 Demon Mountain. Kid, are you crazy? How dare you extort demon kings? A king tier bared his teeth. He didn't expect this kid to be so daring. He even dared to extort kings. How arrogant. Even though he had advanced to the king realm, he wouldn't dare to do it even if he had the chance. After all, once he did this, countless demon kings would be furious. If he encountered these demon kings, he would definitely be ganged up on and die without a burial. Thinking of this scene, he felt goosebumps all over his body. The group of king tiers looked at Xia Ping with extremely strange expressions. They could see that Xia Ping had advanced to the master realm. His strength was much stronger than 3 months ago. The problem was, so what if he was a Master Realm Master? He dared to offend the Demon Kings. No matter how many lives he had, it wouldn't be enough. I have no choice. I don't know how to do business, and working is too tiring. I don't have any way to make money, so I can only rob the rich and help the poor. There's no other way. Xia Ping spread out his hands. Tu Linglong and the other monsters were so angry that their noses were crooked. They glared at this shameless guy. What kind of bullshit reason was that? Wasn't this kind of declaration something that only a loser could say? He even said that this was robbing the rich and helping the poor. Was this how idioms should be used? Chivalrous robbers specialized in robbing the rich and heartless. They used the money they obtained to help the masses of poor people. You bastard, extorting money from others was purely to satisfy your own selfish desires. Chapter 722. Interesting, this is really interesting. Hearing this, Principal Lu Shuwen instantly laughed out loud. He looked at Xia Ping, good kid, only you can think of such a thing and you really dare to do it. Alright, leave this to me. I'll be in charge of negotiating with the monster race. This time, we must cheat them of a large sum of money. If we don't ruthlessly cut off a piece of their flesh, they won't stop. The way he looked at Xia Ping was very appreciative, and he smiled very happily. Old Lu, this doesn't seem appropriate. Won't we anger the monster kings? Some kings were worried about this. If this caused a war between the human race and the monster race to erupt, many people would die. It's okay. This is just exchanging captives. No matter how angry the monster kings are, they won't dare to do anything. Lu Shuwen was very sure about this because Tu Linglong and the other monsters didn't die. If they didn't die, then there was a lot more room for negotiation. Any problem that could be solved with money wasn't a problem at all. Of course, how much compensation would they have to pay to bring these geniuses back would be a problem for negotiation. Also, we once spent a large sum of money to save some talented human geniuses from the monster race. At that time, Thousand Monster Mountain ruthlessly slaughtered us. If we don't take revenge this time, wouldn't it seem like we humans don't know how to be grateful? Lu Shuwen said with a smile. Old Lu is right. Hearing this, the other kings nodded. Thousand Monster Mountain had done many such things in the past. They invaded the human race's territory and in the end, some human geniuses were snatched away and made into slaves, suffering all kinds of torture. To bring these human geniuses back, the Federation government had paid a huge price. They had ruthlessly cut off a piece of their flesh to save those geniuses. Doing this now was just out of politeness. Let's go. Lu Shuwen's eyes lit up, we should leave now and quickly take the super battleship back to the human race's territory. Back to our base. Otherwise, when the monster kings react, there will definitely be a battle. But once we return to the human race's territory, it won't be up to them anymore. He thought about it very clearly. This place was close to the monster race's territory. If there was a conflict, the monster kings could get reinforcements from Thousand Monster Mountain at any time. The other party had the advantage in numbers, so they might be at a disadvantage. However, if they were to return to human territory, the monster kings would no longer be in control. No matter how powerful they would not be able to kill their way into human territory unless they wanted to start a war. Alright. Some of the monarchs also knew the seriousness of this matter. They immediately ordered all the elite students to board the battleship quickly and then immediately teleport away, catching the group of demon kings off guard. By the time those demon kings reacted, they would have already returned to the human world. At this time, in another area. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. One by one, the demon race geniuses came out of the wormhole. They were carried by a golden light and quickly landed on the ground. Soon, an empty space was filled with geniuses from various races. Many demon kings and demon race elites appeared in the surroundings. They had all appeared here to protect the geniuses of the demon race so that they would not be ambushed by the human race and suffer heavy losses. After all, if all the geniuses of the demon race were to die, there would be a gap in the demon race's powerhouses. This was an unbearable burden. He's out, he's finally out. As expected of the geniuses of the demon race. All of them look refreshed. They probably obtained endless benefits in the Sky Demon battlefield. I wonder how many humans they beat up this time. He's in such a good mood. Mere humans are nothing. Just based on martial strength, they can't catch up to us. Every time they go to the Sky Demon battlefield, they are covered in dust. This time is no exception. Many demon kings revealed amiable smiles when they saw their descendants come out of the Sky Demon battlefield unscathed. They were in a very good mood. Not long after, the geniuses that had entered the Sky Demon battlefield came out one after another. Those that had yet to come out had basically died in the Sky Demon battlefield. What's going on? Where is my race's Thunder Ape? Where did he go? Why hasn't he come out yet? An ape king's face was gloomy and black like charcoal. It had an ominous feeling. However, even among the many demon race geniuses, the Thunder Ape was extremely powerful. It would not believe that he had died in the Sky Demon battlefield. My tiger race's genius, Metal Tiger, is also gone. I haven't seen him yet. The same goes for the Crow of Misfortune. Where did he go? That's impossible. My three-eyed giant race is invincible. Who can contend against my three-eyed giant race? It's impossible with those lowly humans. Could something have happened in the Sky Demon battlefield? Is there an unprecedented disaster? Immediately, the Raven King, Tiger King, Thunder Bull King, and the other demon kings all had gloomy expressions. They were in a terrible mood. They had an ominous feeling that their descendants had yet to come out. It boded ill rather than well. Tell me, what happened? Why hasn't my race's saintess, Tu Linglong, come out yet? She has a secret treasure on her. It's impossible for her to die in the Sky Demon battlefield. A battle rabbit king was enraged. The surrounding air distorted and the stones on the ground trembled. This aura enveloped a radius of dozens of miles, making all the demon race geniuses present feel an impending disaster. This was the pressure of a demon king. It was basically undefeatable. Lord Demon King, they have all been kidnapped by a shameless human. He said that he would take them back as mounts and capture a few demon race geniuses to guard his house. One of the demon kings immediately cried and told them about Xia Ping. Those bastards, the Crows of Misfortune, have no backbone at all. They became traitors after being threatened. Those bastards are not demons at all. They betrayed their master for glory. Demons despise them. It's said that the Thunder Ape brothers would rather die than submit. They have an unyielding temperament, but they were slapped to death by that human and roasted on the spot. Saintess Tu Linglong was also captured by that human. He wants to take her back to warm his bed and give birth to many descendants for him. That human is extremely arrogant. He said that if there's a chance, he'll go to the 10,000 Demon Mountain again and capture many demon kings to fill his harem. Fortunately, Saintess Qing Luan escaped quickly. Otherwise, she would have been killed by him. Lord Demon King, you have to avenge us. Punish that shameless and hateful human. Otherwise, our dead demon race brothers will not be able to rest in peace. Many of the demon race's geniuses cried out loud, as if they had been wronged like children. It was as if they wanted to cry out all the bitterness they had suffered in the past 3 months. Chapter 723. What did you say? The Thunder Ape was killed by a human and roasted and eaten on the spot? Does that human want to die? How dare he humiliate the apes like this? The Ape King roared. Its face was gloomy and dark. A terrifying rage was brewing in its chest. The ground it was standing on was immediately shaken by the terrifying chi, creating a huge crater. The Thunder Ape was a rare genius of the apes. They had high hopes for him and he had the potential to become an invincible king. Now that he was killed by a human, it couldn't accept it. "Impossible, you're lying!" shouted the Raven King. "The crows of misfortune are indomitable. We are kings. Our bloodline is noble. Why would we submit to a human and work for him willingly? Don't talk nonsense here." It didn't believe that its descendants would be so spineless that they would willingly become a human's fighter. It's true. All the monsters saw it. The first one to surrender was this damned raven. When it kills monsters, it's even more ruthless than humans. It's a complete betrayal. Some demons swore to the heavens that this was absolutely true. If not for the fact that the crows of misfortune and the other demons had surrendered, they would have surrounded the human and killed him. They would not have given him a chance to grow. Forget about the crows of misfortune, but the Unicorn Thunder Bull clan will never surrender. That's right. The Tiger clan is a king. We are born kings. We will never be dogs for humans. The Three-Eyed Giant clan is the same. Humans are just dwarves. What right does he have to be a master? He wants us to be his guards. Is he crazy? The Thunder Bull King, the Giant King, the Tiger King, and the other kings didn't believe this. Their descendants wouldn't fall to such an extent and be tamed by a small human. "It's true," said the Phoenix, but they didn't submit. That human put a restriction on them. If they don't listen, they will be killed. Their bodies will be shattered and they will die without a whole corpse. So, they have to listen to that human. You can't blame them. Hearing this, the surrounding kings all fell silent. If it was another monster, they wouldn't believe it. But since it was the Phoenix, nobody dared to doubt it. The Phoenix's status in the Thousand Monster Mountain was too high. It was comparable to a king. That human deserves to die. Many monster kings were furious. He actually dared to use such methods to enslave a monster king's descendant. This violated a taboo, causing boundless killing intent to surge within their hearts. They wanted to immediately kill that human. What about our clan's holy maiden Tu Linglong? She fell into that human's hands. How is she now? The Battle Rabbit Monarch was extremely anxious because Tu Linglong was too important to the rabbit race. She was the key to the rabbit race's future glory. If something were to happen to Tu Linglong, it wouldn't be able to make up for it even if it died. "I don't know. He should be fine for now," Qing Yuan said solemnly. A demon shouted, "She seems fine on the surface, but according to the rumors, Tu Linglong has already become that human's forbidden domain. She works day and night and plays the flute every night. She's been ravaged excessively." It was extremely sad and indignant. What? How dare that human do this and humiliate the demon clan? Kill him. Kill that human. He dares to insult our demon race's holy maiden. This is a great humiliation. The holy maiden's charm is boundless and she's extremely attractive to humans. No man can resist her. Now that she's fallen into the human's hands, she's probably done for. I'm just afraid that she's pregnant. The group of demons was extremely sad and indignant. There were many among them who adored Tu Linglong, but now, the holy maiden had actually fallen into the human's hands and become his forbidden domain, a maid who warms his bed. When they thought of this, they couldn't restrain their anger. It was as if they had been cuckolded. That damned human. I must annihilate him and exterminate his entire clan. The Battle Rabbit Monarch roared furiously. Tu Linglong was the demon race's holy maiden. She was a noble, pure, and supreme existence that couldn't be blasphemed. But now, she was actually sullied by a lowly human. This was a humiliation. This was a humiliation that couldn't be washed away even with the waters of 3 rivers. How could this be? We're a dignified demon race, yet no demon can restrain him. How could we allow such an ignorant brat to act so tyrannically? What exactly are all of you doing? Why aren't you going to save her? Have you all grown up eating shit? A demon monarch was enraged. As a dignified demon race that fought the heavens and earth, they were invincible. Now, they were actually intimidated by a puny human and rubbed against the ground, not daring to act recklessly. Even when their holy maiden was snatched away, all of them remained indifferent. Instead, they fled in all directions in fear. They were no different from stray dogs. How can a puny human be so savage? Could it be that this isn't because the human is too savage, but because the current generation of demons is simply too weak? How much worse are they compared to the previous generation? Even a puny human can't subdue them. Each generation is worse than the previous. If this continues, our demon race will really become a vassal of the human race. We won't be able to rise again in this lifetime. Many of the demon race elites around gritted their teeth. Their emotions were very complicated. There was anger, grief, disappointment, and helplessness. All sorts of feelings welled up in their hearts. Hearing these words, many geniuses of the demon race felt ashamed. They wanted nothing more than to bury their heads in the ground and never come out again. They also felt extremely ashamed of being so fearful of a human. This was a disgrace. We must kill him. A demon monarch growled. His voice contained boundless anger. He gritted his teeth so hard that they broke. Such a thing was simply unheard of. If they still remained indifferent, they would be completely looked down upon by the human. In the future, the demon race would lose their backbone and wouldn't even be able to raise their heads in front of the human. Where is that human? I'll go and kill him immediately. The Ape King was furious. The Thunder Ape was the hope of their ape race, the future of their race. Now, he was killed by a human. This was a blood feud. Hearing these words, many demon monarchs came to their senses. Yes, find that human and kill him immediately. Also, Holy Maiden Tu Linglong and the Crow of Misfortune should be rescued immediately. The human's encampment is not far from here. If we go now, we should be able to successfully intercept him. No matter what, if that human really takes away these geniuses of the demon race and sends them back to guard their homes, this will be a great humiliation to our demon race. It's an unbearable weight. Let's go together and demand an explanation from the human. I want to see what this human has to say. How dare he humiliate our demon race like this? If he doesn't give us an explanation, there will be no end to this. Chapter 724. Soon, countless demon kings and elites of the demon race were flying in the sky at an extremely fast speed. They arrived at the temporary human camp. But by the time they arrived, they found that Xia Ping and the others had already left, and the building was empty. What's going on? Why are they running so fast? Didn't they just come out? A demon king was dumbfounded. It felt that these humans were running too fast. If it was in the past, these humans would still be here after half a day, but now, they ran away in the blink of an eye. You're still asking why they're running so fast? They're obviously worried that we'll punish them, so they ran away quickly. These shameless humans, I can't live under the same sky as them. The Ape King flew into a rage. It was extremely angry. With a thump, it punched the ground, instantly creating a deep pit with a diameter of 1 kilometer. The earth cracked, and the rocks in the distance were shattered. The ground trembled as if there was a magnitude 7 or 8 earthquake. The surrounding elites of the demon race could feel the Ape King's anger. It was completely conceivable that if there were any idiots who dared to provoke it now, they would definitely die without a burial place. Chase them. Immediately catch up to those damned humans. We can't let them run away so easily, the Battle Rabbit King shouted. Their saintess, Exquisite Rabbit, had been snatched away and was about to be taken back as a maid to warm the bed. If they didn't rescue the saintess, the rabbit race would probably become the laughing stock of the demon race. They would never be able to raise their heads again. It couldn't wait to chase after them. How do we chase after them? A demon king said helplessly, those humans have super warships that can easily jump through space. They'll probably return to the human camp in a few breaths. With such speed, we can't catch up to them even if we try. Even if we're lucky and manage to catch up, we'll still be in the human kingdom. Do we want to start a war with the humans by going there in such a majestic manner? It indicated that it was basically impossible to catch up to the humans. The speed of the humans' super warships was too terrifying and could jump through space. There was no way to stop them. Hearing this, the Ape King and the other demon kings were all very sullen. If they could start a war with the humans, they would probably choose to do so long ago and expel all these damned humans from the cloud realm. The problem was that after experiencing several wars between humans and demons, they had fully understood that humans were not to be trifled with, especially when the other party was armed to the teeth in their cities. They had installed powerful combat systems, all kinds of laser cannons, and all kinds of kings. If they dared to invade, they would definitely pay a heavy price. This isn't it, that isn't it either. Are we supposed to just watch as those outstanding descendants fall into the hands of humans and be forced to work like slaves? The battle rabbit monarch gnashed its teeth in indignation. That's not it either. Ring just then, the communication device on the Ape King's body rang. Ever since humans had entered the sky realm, they had brought in all kinds of advanced technological weapons. Naturally, the demon clan had quickly adopted the communicator that could communicate from thousands of miles away. Even if they did not fully accept it, many convenient technologies had entered the homes of the demon race, and the communication device was one of them. It's the invincible king of the human race, Lu Shuwen. The battle rabbit monarch's pupils contracted as he looked at the name displayed on the communication device. What? Many of the demon kings were shocked. Lu Shuwen's name was like the shadow of a tree. In every war between humans and demons, this invincible king had always been in the limelight. Countless demon kings had died in his hands, and he was known as the Butcher. Even though they looked down on weak humans, none of them dared to belittle the human king. As for why Lu Shuwen knew the Ape King's communication number, it was very simple. At their level, there were always ways to know each other's contact details. With a beep, the battle rabbit monarch immediately connected the communication device. Lu Shuwen's virtual projection immediately appeared in front of the many elite demons, standing with his hands behind his back. Even from thousands of miles away, they could feel the aura of a king from this virtual projection. It was as lofty as a mountain, as deep as the ocean, as if it would descend from another place at any time. Battle rabbit monarch, long time no see. Lu Shuwen greeted with a smile. The battle rabbit monarch's face darkened. Cut the crap. Our relationship isn't that good. The last time we met, you even killed a king of the rabbit race. Tell me your purpose for coming here. As expected of the battle rabbit monarch. You're indeed a straightforward person. I believe that you guys are already aware of the fact that the geniuses of the demon race of your myriad demon mountain have fallen into the hands of the humans. Lu Shuwen said with a smile without any hint of anger. Many of the demon kings could sense the other party's ill intentions, but they had no choice but to suppress the anger in their hearts when the prodigies of their myriad demon mountain had fallen into the hands of the human race. I'm indeed aware of this matter, but you humans actually dared to capture our rabbit race's saintess. This is unprecedented. Are you trying to break the truce and start a war? If you want, our myriad demon mountain will accompany you to the end. The battle rabbit monarch roared furiously. We humans have always been a race that advocates peace. We pay particular attention to a harmonious society where all races prosper together. We won't start a war unless we have no other choice. Lu Shuwen said calmly, as for the prodigies of your demon race falling into the hands of us humans, that happened in the sky demon battlefield. According to the agreement between our two races, the outside world cannot interfere with anything that happens in the sky demon battlefield. Therefore, we didn't break the agreement. Everything is very normal. He expressed that the human race had never broken the peace. "Shut up!" the battle rabbit monarch roared. "You humans captured our rabbit race's saintess, and you still say that you didn't break the agreement? Just this kind of behavior alone is enough for you humans to die. Do you understand?" The battle rabbit monarch was infuriated. Every single human was despicable and shameless. They even bragged that they were a race that advocated peace and liked a harmonious society. Harmonious my ass. In this world, there was no race that loved war more than humans. Disregarding everything else, just the high-tech weapons that humans had developed were all things that existed to destroy life. This was the ultimate proof. Yet this fellow bragged that humans loved peace. Did he even have any shame? "Lu Shuwen, I don't think you called to quarrel with us." The Raven Monarch was very calm. It stared at Lu Shuwen and said, "Speak. What exactly is your true motive?" It could tell that Lu Shuwen wasn't here to cause trouble, mock, or blow up the matter. It seemed like he had other motives. As long as there was a motive and a condition, then it could be discussed. Be it the human race or the demon race, neither were prepared to start a war. Chapter 725. Ransom the Demon Race Geniuses. Upon hearing this, the demon monarch's expressions changed. They immediately understood what Lu Shuwen was implying. This human monarch clearly wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to extort them. In the past, the demon race had also captured many human elites and used them as slaves, torturing them day and night. The human race had paid a huge price in exchange for these human elites. Now that the tables had turned, it was finally their turn. "What do you want?" The battle rabbit monarch's anxious mood instantly calmed down. If there was a chance to ransom the rabbit race's saintess, then it was willing to give it a try. After all, the strength of the entire rabbit race was far from enough to invade the human race's territory. 500 billion federal coins. Lu Shuwen extended 5 fingers. Upon hearing this, the battle rabbit monarch was instantly relieved. So it was only 500 billion federal coins. Although it was a lot for ordinary people, it wasn't much for monarchs. If they could spend 500 billion federal coins to solve this problem, then it would be extremely easy. "No problem, I can immediately prepare 500 billion federal coins worth of resources," the battle rabbit monarch said in a deep voice. Although it didn't have any federal coins on it, it could provide resources equivalent to 500 billion federal coins. For example, all kinds of spirit herbs, ores, and all kinds of natural treasures. These were all things that the human race needed. "Wait, I said 500 billion each." Lu Shuwen waved his hand. He wanted to correct this point. "What?" Upon hearing this, the demon monarch's expressions changed drastically. Just a single demon race genius required 500 billion federal coins. Now that 7 demon race geniuses had been captured, wouldn't they have to compensate 3.5 trillion federal coins? Even for a monarch, this was an amount that would bankrupt them. "Have you gone crazy from thinking about money?" the battle rabbit monarch roared. Lu Shuwen smiled faintly. "Don't worry, this is just a bonus. Aside from 500 billion federal coins, we also need to prepare a 1,000-year-old spirit herb, a treasure, and a Peerless King-level secret manual. Furthermore, we humans must not have this Peerless King-level secret manual. Otherwise, we won't need it." He continued to state his conditions. "Impossible." The battle rabbit monarch glared at Lu Shuwen. Just 500 billion federal coins per person was already an astronomical amount. Yet, he still wanted so many treasures. What did he take the demon race for? Fat sheep? To be slaughtered so easily? "Human, you have no sincerity at all." Tiger King glared at Lu Shuwen in anger. "A 1,000-year-old spirit herb? Only you can think of such a thing. Even we, the demon kings, want such a spirit herb. How can we use it to redeem a demon race genius?" Why don't you just go rob someone? There are also prized artifacts. Every single one of them is a demon king's secret treasure. They are treasures that can be passed down for tens of thousands of years. Once they are obtained, they can greatly increase the strength of a king. These are strategic weapons that are impossible to trade. As for Peerless King level secret manuals, even our myriad monster mountain doesn't have many secret manuals of this level. You still want to demand an exorbitant price? You want exactly 7 manuals. Do you think that our monster race is stupid? It was completely conceivable that if the 7 geniuses of the Yao clan were to be traded back according to this standard, the 1000 monster mountain would certainly suffer a great loss of strength, and they would lose all face. Most importantly, this was basically giving aid to the enemy. Just by seeding these treasures, it was unknown how many human geniuses would be created. These would all be great enemies of the demon race in the future. This kind of foolish behavior was something that should never be done. This kind of request of yours is too much. It is obvious that you want our monster race to cut off our flesh. Do you even have a conscience by asking such a price? The Raven King clenched his teeth. He felt that this request was too much. Don't agree to it. The Ape King roared, if they want war, then let's give them war. Right now, these damned humans are not willing to hand over the treasures. Then, in the future, I will personally step into the human race's territory to take them. I will bring the heads of billions of humans with me. The Ape King was murderous and furious. Ever since he found out that the peerless genius of the ape clan, the Thunder Ape, was killed alive by humans and was even used as food, he was so furious that he even wanted to kill Xiaoping. Therefore, he did not agree to this kind of humiliating condition at all. This was no different from ceding territory and paying reparations after a defeat. If you don't agree, then forget it. Keeping these geniuses of the monster race as slaves is not bad. In the future, we can even bring them with us to attack the myriad monster mountain and make a great contribution to the human race, Lu Shuwen said with a smile. However, this kind of smile made many monster kings feel extremely disgusted. They even felt a chill run down their spines. This was not impossible. After all, these geniuses of the monster race all had the aptitude to become kings, and some even had the aptitude to become invincible kings. In time, they might all become monster kings. At that time, 7 invincible monster kings would come to attack the myriad monster mountain and lead the way. The monster race would be terror-stricken at the mention of their name, bowing their heads and killing each other. This kind of scene made them extremely terrified. Although they did not think that these geniuses of the monster race would surrender so easily and willingly fight for the human race. The problem was that if these humans had some kind of method to brainwash these geniuses of the monster race, then they would be facing a few terrifying enemies. Human, you are too much. Do you still have any morals? The battle rabbit monarch's face was as dark as charcoal. If it was not a virtual projection but Lu Shuwen's real body, it would definitely rush up and fight with Lu Shuwen for 300 rounds, beating him to death. The other monster kings also felt Lu Shuwen's sinister intentions. The destructive power was secondary. The most important thing was that it was disgusting. It was unknown how much mental damage it would cause to the monster race. This was a psychological attack. I'm just giving you a taste of your own medicine. Didn't you do the same thing when the monster race captured the elites of the human race? You forced the elites of the human race to become slaves and drove countless ordinary humans to their deaths as cannon fodder to attack cities and plunder territories. You can't have forgotten these methods, right? Lu Shuwen sneered with a cold glint in his eyes. During the war between the human race and the monster race, they used all sorts of dirty and despicable methods. They used ordinary humans as cannon fodder to block the front as a human wall. If the human army was afraid of harming ordinary humans and their attacks weakened, the monster race would take the opportunity to invade the cities and plunder. That was why there was a blood feud between the two sides that could not be mended. You. The other monster kings gritted their teeth. They had indeed done such things before, but those of different races were bound to have different intentions. So what if they used some humans as cannon fodder? It wasn't the monster race that died anyway. But now, it was their turn to be forced into such a state by this damned human. Think about it carefully. I will only give you 3 days to consider. If you don't agree, then forget about this matter and let them stay in the human race's territory forever. Lu Shuwen did not want to waste any more time talking to these monster kings. With a snap, he immediately hung up the phone and ended the call. Damn it. Chapter 726. Damn humans. A monster king gritted his teeth. We definitely can't agree to their extortion. If everyone does this and kidnaps a monster king's descendant, we'll need a large sum of money to redeem them. Then, no amount of money from our myriad demon mountain will be able to fill this hole. These humans think they can intimidate and extort us monster race like this? They're dreaming. It firmly opposed this kind of surrender. The problem is, if we don't agree, Tu Linglong and the others will be in danger. A monster king said worriedly. If these were ordinary monsters, then they didn't need to care at all. The problem was that these captured monsters were all successors of monster kings, equivalent to the princes of a country. If they were still indifferent after being captured, then how would others view Myriad Demon Mountain? Pressure immediately increased the pressure. A monster king roared. Gather millions of troops on the border, gather various monster kings, create panic and nervousness, brew the dark clouds of war, and pressure the border with the army. I don't believe that these stupid humans would dare to take the risk of offending us monster race and continue this kind of extortion. I want to scare those cowardly humans until they piss their pants. He proposed to gather countless monster kings to pressure the human race. Many monster kings nodded. They weren't to be trifled with. This Lu Shuwen thought that by making a phone call, he could scare them into kneeling, surrendering, and obediently apologizing. What a joke. When the monster race conquered the world and waged war everywhere, who knew where the humans were playing in the mud? That's right. Pressure first and protest diplomatically. Pressure the border with the army and keep pressuring. I don't believe that they're willing to risk war to offend us. We definitely can't agree to this kind of brazen extortion. Otherwise, in the long run, the dignity of the monster race will be gone. Many monster kings were arrogant and unruly. How could they be extorted so easily? Unless it was absolutely necessary, they wouldn't agree to this kind of extortion. At this time, in a villa in the elite district of Yanhuang University, Xia Ping had already returned to Yanhuang University with the super battleship. Tu Linglong, the crow of misfortune, and the other monsters naturally followed him back. However, there were many rooms in the villa, so it wasn't a problem to feed a few people. Principal, do you think that group of demon kings won't agree? Xia Ping blinked. He was in the middle of a video call with Principal Lu Shuwen. Lu Shuwen smiled. Of course, they won't agree to such a blatant blackmail. They will probably use all kinds of tricks, such as threats and temptations. Only when these methods are all gone will they consider compensation. But don't worry. This is the so-called negotiation. Whoever can't withstand the pressure first loses. In any case, with these demon kings' descendants in our hands, we are already in an invincible position. He looked like he had everything under control. He had already calculated the reactions of these demon kings. Understood, headmaster. Xia Ping nodded. Lu Shuwen said in a low voice, remember to be careful. Although Yanhuang University is still very safe, there's no guarantee. If these demon kings are enraged and send top-notch assassins, you'll still be in danger. So, you need to be vigilant and protect yourself. He reminded Xia Ping to be careful. After saying this, Lu Shuwen hung up the video call and ended the call. Looks like you guys aren't very valued among the demon race. You're just making excuses for such a small amount of money. You're not straightforward at all. Xia Ping looked at Tu Linglong and the other demons with a bit of disdain. Bullshit. Tu Linglong and the other demons spat at this shameless human. Redeeming them would cost at least 500 billion federal coins, and they would also have to be given a treasured artifact, a 1,000-year-old spirit herb, and a peerless king-level secret manual. This was clearly a lion opening its mouth and completely treating the demon race as fat sheep to be slaughtered. If their brains were filled with feces, they would only agree to such a ridiculous request. If they were demon kings, they wouldn't be willing to submit to such a ridiculous behavior. They definitely wouldn't lower their heads. But if that was the case, their hopes of returning to Myriad Demon Mountain would be even slimmer. They might have to stay in the human world for the rest of their lives as slaves. Thinking of this, they felt incomparable despair. Forget it. Without Butcher Zhang, we won't eat furred pigs anymore. Xia Ping didn't care about the rejection of the group of demon kings. Even if they don't want to redeem you, there are many people or demons who want to buy you. From the beginning, he had prepared two plans. First, the group of demon kings would obediently be suckers and be willing to be extorted by him. This way, everyone would be happy. Second, even if the group of demon kings didn't agree, he could sell the descendants of these demon kings to others. After all, these were the descendants of demon kings with amazing aptitudes. If he could catch one, it would be a great honor. He believed that there would be many rich people who would choose to buy them. Even the demon race wasn't united. Good and bad people mixed together and fought each other endlessly. There were also many races that had enmity with tiger demons, rabbit demons, hell crows, and so on. If there was a chance to catch one or two descendants, he believed that the other forces of Myriad Demon Mountain would also be very happy. What exactly do you want? Tu Linglong instinctively sensed this shameless human's sinister intentions. Xia Ping smiled and said, nothing much. I just want to hold an auction. Auction? Hearing this, the Crow of Misfortune and the other demons suddenly felt hopeless. They wanted to faint on the spot. This hateful human really treated them as goods to be auctioned. It's over. It's completely over. After this matter is over, they will definitely become the laughing stock of Myriad Demon Mountain. Thinking of this, Xia Ping immediately took action. He posted on the forum that he would auction a few descendants of demon kings on the online market one day later. The highest bidder would get them. Those who wanted to buy them should hurry. As soon as this was said, all the humans in the cloud realm were immediately excited. What is this kid saying? He wants to publicly auction the descendants of demon kings. Is he crazy? Could it be fake news? The descendants of demon kings are all geniuses of the demon race who stay in Myriad Demon Mountain. Humans have to pay a huge price to catch one. It's equivalent to a prince of a human kingdom. How can it be so easy to catch one? It's true. The person who posted this news is called Xia Ping. He's the champion of this year's Genius Battle. He just entered the Celestial Demon battlefield and probably caught the descendants of demon kings there. Damn, is it true? If that's the case, then let's see for ourselves. If I can buy a descendant of a demon king to guard my house, how awesome would that be? Once these descendants grow up, they will become demon kings and super thugs. Chapter 727. What's the background of those Monster Kings' descendants? If they aren't good, we won't participate in the auction. Someone asked curiously, wanting to know which Monster King's descendant had been captured. Everyone nodded. Even if they were Monster King's descendants, there was a huge gap between them. Some had noble bloodlines and powerful talents, while others had thin bloodlines and ordinary talents. The difference in value was like the difference between heaven and earth. Don't worry, Xia Ping's products are definitely top quality. Xia Ping immediately replied on the forum. For example, this Hell Crow has a pure Monster King bloodline and is very talented. If we auction it and bring it back to guard the door, it will definitely be a top-notch divine beast. You can even let it sing and crow in front of your house. I guarantee that people will turn their heads 100%. He uploaded a picture of the hell crow, saying that it was definitely powerful and worth the money. Damn you, Xiaoping, you can't spit out ivory from your dog mouth. How can you think of letting a crow crow in front of your house? Why don't you go to heaven? Crows will only crow when someone in the family dies. It's an ominous symbol. You said that people will turn their heads 100%? Everyone in the family is dead and there's a crow crowing. It looks very sad. Who wouldn't be curious? It's easy for you to say that. Bullshit, divine beast. It's simply a jinx. Buy it. That guy is going to be treated like an ancestor. It's not a battle pet. The group of people were speechless when they saw Xiaoping's reply. Their mouths twitched. How could this kid think of letting a crow crow in front of his house? Especially a monster like the crow of misfortune that symbolized death. It had an ominous aura, like the arrival of the god of death. It was a bad omen and everyone had to avoid it. Crow of misfortune, it seems that you won't be easy to sell. It's not good enough that you're a crow. It's a bad omen and you call it misfortune. Isn't this adding insult to injury? Who would dare to use you as a battle pet? Aren't they afraid of being cursed to death? Xia Ping looked at the crow of misfortune with disdain. He didn't hide it. He opened the virtual webpage and let the crow of misfortune and the other monsters see the information. The crow of misfortune was depressed. This name was given to it by its ancestors. How could it be blamed? Moreover, the transaction didn't go smoothly, and this hateful human actually looked down on it. It was too hateful. Even though it was kidnapped and became a prisoner, it still had its demon personality's dignity. However, there were also some knowledgeable people who cried out in alarm, "Hell Crow, isn't that the Thousand Demon Mountains king race? It is said that their bloodline is comparable to that of a divine beast, and they are called the emissaries of hell. If they advance to the king level, they will have the potential to become an invincible king." In the past wars between the human race and the demon race, the crows of misfortune have been in the limelight. Who knows how many human experts they have killed? He expressed that the crow of misfortune was not simple. If it was a pure crow of misfortune bloodline, then it would definitely be exceptionally noble. Its value was simply immeasurable. Originally, when he heard a group of people criticize the crow of misfortune, Xia Ping felt that the crow of misfortune wouldn't be easy to sell. Fortunately, there were still people who knew what was good for them, so it wasn't considered a pearl covered in dust. That's right, this is the famous crow of misfortune. If you buy it and bring it home, it is equivalent to having a future demon king as a battle pet. Its future is boundless. Xia Ping shouted, "Of course, if you think the crow of misfortune is a bad omen, you can also look at other goods. For example, this tiger is called the metal tiger. It looks majestic and full of power. Everyone, look at its streamlined body, sharp tiger claws, ferocious eyes, and sharp fangs. Doesn't it have a kind of prehistoric ferocious beast's aura? With one claw, it can tear a mountain apart. If you can bring this ferocious tiger out, there will be 100% chance of people turning their heads. When you walk, there will be wind, and you can enjoy the envious and jealous gazes of people. It is a must-have tool at home, traveling, and bragging. Moreover, it is relatively easy to raise. It specializes in eating ores. Just give it a few pieces of scrap iron and it will live." He expressed that this metal tiger was not only very ferocious, but also very easy to raise. It had many advantages. Hearing this, the metal tiger was sad and indignant. It was the future king of the tiger demon clan, but now it was used as a tool to show off, and someone even wanted to take it out for a walk. What a shame! Moreover, it was not easy to raise. Although it ate ores, it only ate those precious ores, which were very valuable. It could be said that if one wanted to raise it, an ordinary rich human would have to go bankrupt. This shameless human was clearly hiding key information and selling it falsely. His behavior was quite bad. Metal tiger. Isn't that a special tiger of the tiger demon clan? That is the bloodline of the king. It is indeed a fine product. I didn't expect a species like the metal tiger to be brought back. It is really strong. If I can tame this tiger and use it as a battle pet, I don't know how powerful it will be. It seems to be relatively easy to raise. It just needs to eat iron. Many people exclaimed. Compared with the crow of misfortune, the metal tiger was obviously much more powerful. Whether in appearance or ferocity, the metal tiger was far better than the crow of misfortune. It could be said that if one took the metal tiger for a walk on the street, he would definitely become the focus of the crowd. Especially some of the rich young masters. They were tempted and wanted to immediately take the metal tiger for themselves. If the crow of misfortune and the metal tiger are not enough, then everyone can take a look at this bull. It is a unicorn thunder bull. It is born to control the power of thunder. Xia Ping introduced the unicorn thunder bull. Obtaining this unicorn thunder bull is equivalent to obtaining a mobile charger. When it runs out of power, let it generate electricity. As the saying goes, charging for 5 minutes, working for 2 hours. With it, you don't need to worry about your communicators running out of power. Moreover, it has a strong reproductive ability. Everyone can completely treat it as a breeding bull. Capture many cows and mate with it. When the time comes, they will give birth to many little unicorn thunder bulls and strengthen the family. Hearing this, the unicorn thunder bull's nose became crooked. What did this despicable human think of the unicorn thunder bull? A mobile charger. A demon-shaped generator. He actually wanted to treat it as a breeding bull and let it mate continuously. Only this human could think of such a thing. The unicorn thunder bull could already imagine its dark days in the future. It would live in a dark and dirty cowshed. It would be emaciated and its 4 legs would tremble. Not bad. Looks like the unicorn thunder bull is not bad. Although the metal tiger is good, it is too ferocious. I am still worried that it will bite its master. However, the unicorn thunder bull is not bad. At least it seems to be gentle and won't hurt people. Yes. Moreover, it can be used as a mount. Riding on the unicorn thunder bull, you can go anywhere in the world. Chapter 728. Of course, other than the unicorn thunder bull, there's also a blackwater explosive bear. Xia Ping continued, its bite strength is one of the best among all the monsters. It's on par with a shark. Even titanium alloy is like chocolate in front of its teeth. It runs very ferociously. Its top speed is faster than Mach 1. It has great endurance. It can run thousands of meters up a mountain like it's on flat ground. It can run for 3 days and 3 nights without panting. It's extremely strong. It can even uproot a small mountain and throw it like a ball. But such a ferocious explosive bear's main occupation is to act cute. Come on, show everyone a simple and honest expression. He forced the blackwater explosive bear to act cute. He even took a simple and honest picture and uploaded it. It looked very cute, just like the pandas on Earth in his previous life, round and chubby. Oh my god, is this the blackwater explosive bear? It's so cute. I want to catch it as a pet. It looks soft and fluffy, just like the furry toys at home. It's so cute. I can feel my girly heart melting. Unbelievable. Everyone, look at this shocking bear paw. It can probably split a small mountain into pieces with one slap. But its main occupation is to act cute. Is that true? This picture is too cute. Many girls were attracted by the blackwater explosive bear's honest expression when they saw the picture. They all exclaimed that it was cute and wanted to catch it and take it home. No, my main occupation is not to act cute. The blackwater explosive bear was extremely sad when it saw the comments. It wanted to cry but had no tears. It used to be an extremely ferocious monster. countless monsters would tremble in fear at the mention of its name. With one slap, countless monsters would be torn into pieces. Moreover, it had a very bad temper. It would fight with others for no reason, leaving many wounds on its body. But now, this despicable human was telling it to act cute. If this matter were to be spread back to the bear clan, the Blackwater explosive bear's reputation would be gone. After all, who would be afraid of a bear that only knew how to act cute? Right now, it simply wished that it could immediately slap this human who had ruined its reputation. Of course, the most valuable one is the widow spider. Xia Ping said carelessly, "Don't be fooled by its ferocious appearance and highly poisonous appearance, as if it was a magical beast from hell. In fact, it is quite gentle inside. And it can spit out a lot of spider silk. This spider silk is impervious to fire and water. It's extremely tough, and it's made of high molecular materials. It's very valuable. If I can get this widow spider, I can treat it as a coolie, spitting silk day and night. Then, I can collect the silk and process it into diving suits, bulletproof vests, fireproof vests, and all kinds of clothes. It can be said that it is simply a super raw material factory. Obtaining it is equivalent to obtaining a huge fortune." He said that the widow spider was the most cost-effective. If he bought this widow spider back, not only would he not suffer a loss, but he would also be able to generate a steady stream of profits. "No, I don't want to spin silk. I don't want to be a raw material factory." Seeing the contents sent by Xia Ping, the widow spider's face turned green. It seemed to see itself as a labor force that was squeezed to the extreme. Every day, under the whip of the slave owner, it worked hard to spit out spider silk. If it dared to disobey, or if its workload was reduced, it would be beaten and have no food to eat tonight. Such a future was too dark. It was simply worse than death. Amazing, I didn't expect the widow spider to have such an economic function. If I buy this widow spider, not only will I not suffer a loss, I might even be able to make a huge profit in the future. It is indeed the most cost-effective descendant of the Demon King. Many humans were tempted, especially some misers who were very accurate in their calculations. They frantically calculated how much profit they could make after obtaining the widow spider. Immediately, some people quickly calculated. Indeed, the economic value of the widow spider was extremely high. If they could obtain it, they would be able to create endless profits. Finally, there's a monster called the Three-Eyed Giant. Xia Ping introduced the Three-Eyed Giant. Because this guy is in human form, it might not be as impressive as other monsters as a war pet. However, it is very tall. It is 4 to 5 meters tall and has extraordinary strength. It can completely work in the construction industry. It can move all kinds of goods and is extremely efficient. It is a war pet that can be used as a coolie, and it can also work without complaint. He praised the Three-Eyed Giant, saying that it was also a good war pet. However, when the Three-Eyed Giant heard this, its face turned completely green. This despicable human actually wanted it to work as a coolie. He even wanted it to work as a war pet for those despicable humans and carry bricks everywhere. When had the noble Three-Eyed Giant race been reduced to such a state? It could only carry bricks at construction sites. To it, this was a huge insult. It could not tolerate it at all. This is the Three-Eyed Giant. As expected of a giant. It's so tall. It is 4 to 5 meters tall, and it looks like a small mountain. Look at its muscles. They are as hard as rocks. It is indeed extremely strong. This is a super meat shield. If we can obtain it and tame it, it will be a super bodyguard. If we encounter any danger, we can drag it along with us. I guarantee it will be very useful. Many humans were also amazed. All of them were drooling over the Three-Eyed Giant. It couldn't be used as a battle pet, but it could be used as a bodyguard. It would be quite awe-inspiring to bring it along. The Three-Eyed Giant was so depressed that it wanted to vomit blood. It was already miserable to work as a floor tile. Those despicable humans wanted it to be a meat shield and drag it along with them when they encountered danger. What did they think the three-eyed giant was? Right, didn't they say that there was another monster? Someone was very well informed and knew that Xia Ping had a demon on him. It's said that it's the demon race's saintess. Her name is Tu Linglong, and she has a devastatingly beautiful face. Moreover, her figure is quite hot. He even put up Tu Linglong's photo. Many people exclaimed in surprise. Oh my God, she is the holy lady of the monsters. She is so beautiful. I'm willing to shorten my life by 30 years if I can obtain this pet. Why isn't she being auctioned? I can afford it. Don't compete with me. Many people shouted. They were all attracted by Tu Linglong, especially the men. They shouted and expressed that they had already begun to fall in love after seeing the photo. Xia Ping immediately said, "She is not for sale. She is my bed-warming servant. I will not sell her no matter how much money you offer. Everyone, give up." Chapter 729. Not for sale. Hearing this, someone immediately shouted, "Xia Ping, why can't you sell it? Don't you want money? No matter how much it is, I can afford it. Just name a price." He expressed his desire to have Tu Linglong. "I'm not selling it." Xia Ping only said 2 words, but his attitude was very firm. Why not? Does this bastard want to use it for himself? That must be the case. That's the saintess of the rabbit race. Isn't it better to enjoy her for himself? Shameless. This bastard will definitely have sex every night. I wonder how he'll torture this saintess of the demon race. Damn it, let this kid have sex. He won't be able to get up tomorrow. A group of people cursed Xia Ping fiercely, hoping that Xia Ping would die immediately and never get up again. That way, he might change his mind and sell Tu Linglong. However, no matter what they said, Xia Ping did not change his mind. The group of people beat their chests, feeling very regretful. However, no one could do anything to Xia Ping if he didn't want to sell it. Shameless human. Tu Linglong's pretty face flushed red while she glared angrily at Xia Ping. Even though she felt very fortunate in her heart that this detestable human didn't intend to sell her off, wouldn't that mean that this human would really treat her as a servant that warms his bed? Thinking of this, she felt that her future was bleak. She might have to work like a slave for this human for the rest of her life. Right, how much are these descendants of the Demon King? Someone finally thought of this question. They wanted to know the price of these battle pets. The starting price is 300 billion federal coins. Xia Ping announced the price. Fuck, why don't you just rob a bank? 300 billion? You're crazy. Do you know what that is? That's an astronomical number, 300 billion for a battle pet, and it's the starting price. Are you crazy, or are we crazy? Everyone was completely stunned when they heard this price. It was a number that they couldn't imagine. Even a grandmaster would probably have to go bankrupt to afford it. Even a king would have to spend money. After all, this was only the starting price. If there was still an auction, countless tycoons would fight for it, and the price would probably continue to soar. Get lost if you don't have money. Xia Ping's words were not polite at all. Do you think a war pet can be bought by a poor person? My target customers have never been poor people like you. Don't think too highly of yourselves, understand? He despised those poor people. Someone was immediately dissatisfied. 300 billion federal coins, do you know what that means? Only the royal families can afford that amount. Who would buy a battle pet with that kind of money? He felt that Xia Ping was asking for an exorbitant price. Basically, not many people could afford it. This isn't a war pet. This is a future demon king. Xia Ping said in disdain, if you buy them back and nurture them carefully, they will definitely become monster kings in the future. After all, their aptitudes are rare and extraordinary. Tell me, Is it worth it to buy a demon king for 300 billion? 300 billion to buy a demon king? If he could buy it, then it would be worth it, and it would be worth it. After all, a demon king was a king realm expert. If a clan obtained one, then that clan would immediately be able to advance into a king realm clan, and its strength would increase by countless times. With such a king realm expert, the speed at which they made money was almost the same as a money printing machine. They could casually go out and adventure, enter some ruins to search for treasures, and become rich overnight. It was truly worth it to be able to obtain a king realm expert for merely 300 billion. Xia Ping, don't brag here. Aptitudes are aptitudes. Whether they can become demon kings or not is another matter. Many peerless geniuses have been trapped in the Grandmaster realm for decades and haven't been able to break through for hundreds of years. This isn't a rare occurrence. Someone shouted. You're clearly using an empty promise to deceive people. So what if it's an empty promise? Their potential is obvious to all. Xia Ping said with disdain, buying and selling is a risky thing in itself. It's possible to become rich overnight, or it's possible to lose everything. If they're already demon kings, do you think 300 billion can afford it? Everyone was stunned. It was indeed so. If they were already demon kings, then 300 billion wouldn't be the starting price at all. There would even be people fighting for 3 trillion. The value of a demon king was so great. In short, it's up to you whether you want it or not. Xia Ping couldn't be bothered to waste his breath on this group of people. I'll auction these descendants of a demon king on the online store in one day. The starting price is 300 billion federal coins, and the highest bidder will get it. If you don't have money, then don't come here to join in the fun. It isn't something that poor people can afford. After he finished speaking, he didn't want to continue replying and directly went offline. Damn it. Xia Ping is too arrogant. He's clearly looking down on poor people like us. Someone was indignant and felt that he'd been completely underestimated by Xia Ping. Such a tone was clearly looking down on poor people like them. Someone understood Xia Ping very well, and he shook his head and said, "It can't be helped. The descendants of a demon king are too precious, so it's normal for him to be a little arrogant. If he doesn't have money, then he really can't even buy a single hair. Everyone, boycott him and make this auction go down the drain. Let me see where this kid will put his face." Someone suggested that they wanted to boycott Xia Ping and not auction off the descendants of a demon king. Stop talking nonsense. How can we boycott him? Indeed, this is a descendant of a demon king. If we miss this opportunity, then we don't know when the next one will come. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That's right. It's a genius of the demon clan with the potential to become a demon king. Who doesn't want it? If they're lucky and one of them becomes a demon king, then they'll be rich. Although this kid Xia Ping's tone is a bit nasty, who told him to have such a good thing? I guess there will be many people participating in the auction. Everyone felt that this boycott was not valid at all. Even if some people didn't like Xia Ping, it was useless. No one would miss a truly good thing, and no one would give it up. Compared to the benefits, what was a temporary grudge? This news quickly spread throughout the Cloud Realm and was known by many sovereign families. They were all in an uproar. They didn't expect that someone would actually dare to publicly auction off a demon king's genius. This was simply unheard of. However, some sovereign families were very tempted. There weren't many opportunities like this to obtain a demon king's descendant. After all, these descendants usually stayed in the Myriad Demon Mountain. If they wanted to kidnap them, they would have to kill them. The Myriad Demon Mountain was a dragon's pool and tiger's den. Entering it meant death. Therefore, they had no chance at all. However, someone actually kidnapped 6 or 7 demon king's descendants from the celestial demon battlefield. This was a great opportunity. If they missed this opportunity, they would be struck by lightning. Chapter 730. At that moment, many demon elites had returned from the Sky Demon battlefield in 10,000 Demon Mountain. Many demon bigwigs immediately heard the news that Tu Linglong and the other demon geniuses had been captured. This caused an uproar throughout 10,000 Demon Mountain. A declaration of war. This is a declaration of war between humans and demons. Roared an ox demon monarch. He dares to capture our descendants today. Tomorrow, they will dare to capture demon monarchs in 10,000 Demon Mountain. If we don't deal with that human, what face will our 10,000 Demon Mountain have? Now, anyone can trample on our 10,000 Demon Mountain. We have to teach those foolish humans a lesson. We have to let them know that we demons are not to be trifled with. We have to make them suffer for 300 years. He was in favor of war. He suggested immediately sending an army to slaughter a few human cities to intimidate the humans. As his descendant, the single-horned lightning ox, had been captured by humans, he was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. He wished he could immediately storm into the human kingdom and snatch his grandson back. Ox Demon Monarch, don't brag here all day. If we could start a war and exterminate humans, we would have done it long ago. Why would we wait until today? Use your head and think about it. Is this suggestion suitable? Said an Eagle Demon Monarch disdainfully. He believed that the Ox Demon Monarch spoke without thinking and acted solely on his temper. If the matter were that simple, they wouldn't have held a meeting. They would have gathered the Demon Monarchs and crushed them. Eagle Demon Monarch, are you a fucking spy sent by humans? How can you speak like that when you boost the morale of others and belittle your own? The Ox Demon Monarch was immediately enraged as he accused the Eagle Demon Monarch of being a spy. If I were a spy, I would be the first to fucking kill you and cook you into a pot of beef soup. The Eagle Demon Monarch was immediately enraged. It was not easy to accuse him of being a spy. Once it was proven, no one could save him. The Ox Demon Monarch went berserk. Eagle Demon Monarch, you are courting death. Do you want us to spar? Sure. Do you think I'm afraid of a brainless Ox Demon Monarch with a physique like you? The Eagle Demon Monarch sneered as he clenched his fists fearlessly. The two demon monarchs faced each other, and the atmosphere was extremely tense. Shut up! A highly respected Archfiend King shouted angrily, ordering the two Archfiend Kings to stop immediately. Otherwise, they would be thrown out of the meeting hall and forced to reflect on their mistakes for 3 months. Upon hearing that, the Ox and Hawk Demon Monarchs had no choice but to stop. After all, they couldn't continue making a fuss in front of so many demon monarchs lest they become a laughing stock. What do you think we should do? This won't do, that won't do. Are we just going to watch helplessly as the prodigies of the demon race are bullied by those humans and become their battle slaves for the rest of our lives? Said the Ox Demon Monarch through gritted teeth. It's impossible to fight, but we can pressure them. The Giant King said in a deep voice. His 3 eyes revealed a terrifying cold glint. I don't believe that with the pressure from so many demon monarchs, those foolish humans will still dare to risk starting a war with us and continue making such a huge mistake. It won't work. The Raven King shook his head. Previously, we protested to them through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, exerting pressure and using harsh words, but the humans' attitude was also very tough. They think that since the incident happened in the Thousand Monster Mountain, whatever happens in there, they can't pursue it after they leave. So, if we want Tu Linglong and the others back, we have to agree to their conditions. Upon hearing this, the Giant King sneered. Is this a condition? It's simply extortion. They want to extort our Thousand Monster Mountain. They want 500 billion federal coins per person, and we have to give them a Peerless King-level secret manual, a 1,000-year-old spirit herb, and a treasured artifact. They're simply robbing us. He gritted his teeth. He felt that those humans were too much. They weren't sincere at all when they proposed such conditions. Didn't they tell those humans that if they don't kill the culprit and release Tu Linglong and the others, our Thousand Monster Mountain will start a war with them? A demon monarch wanted to kill the culprit. They did, but those human monarchs didn't take it seriously at all. The Raven King shook his head and said, most importantly, the human who captured Tu Linglong and the others is the champion of the genius battle. He's only 18 years old, but he has already advanced to the Grandmaster realm. He has a promising future and has the potential to advance to an invincible monarch. They definitely won't give up on such a genius. No matter how much pressure they put on him, it's useless. Many demon monarchs fell silent. They also knew that a monstrous genius like Xia Ping's status was equivalent to their 1,000 monster mountains Qing Wan and Tu Linglong. How could such a seed of an invincible monarch be killed by a few words of threat? Is there no way to secretly rescue Tu Linglong and the others? A demon monarch asked unwillingly. The Raven King shook his head. The other party is already in the deepest part of the human country. It's the most heavily guarded place. Demon monarchs can't enter at all. Entering that place is similar to entering the 1,000 monster mountain. Even if we send demon monarchs over, we'll just be sending them to their deaths. The giant king gritted his teeth. Even so, we can't agree to those shameless conditions. This is simply ceding territory after a defeat. This is a disgrace. If we agree, each and every one of us will be nailed to the pillar of shame. He definitely wouldn't give in to the shameless demands of the humans. You're right. We can't agree to those conditions. Drag it out. Drag it out until those humans agree. If they don't release our demon race prodigies, we'll fight them to the death. Anyway, even if we don't release them, those humans won't dare to kill them unless they really want to start a war. Many demon monarchs nodded. Those demon race prodigies couldn't die. That was the bottom line. If they really died, then even if the 1,000 monster mountain was unwilling, they would still start a war with the humans. Oh no. Suddenly, a demon monarch's expression changed. What's wrong? Many demon monarchs looked over. The demon monarch's face was as black as charcoal. Just now, I logged into the Human World's webpage and found that shameless human Xia Ping actually publicly auctioned our demon race prodigies. The time is tomorrow. What? Many demon monarchs' faces turned green. They weren't stupid and naturally knew the seriousness of this matter. Originally, this matter was still under negotiation and was a confidential matter. Now, Xia Ping suddenly revealed it and made it public. This was clearly a slap to the demon race's face. That despicable human actually dares to publicly auction our demon race prodigies. He wants to die. The giant king spat out blood in anger. His lungs felt like they were about to explode. His face was pale and his heart was going crazy. He couldn't imagine that his descendant, the three-eyed giant, was being auctioned. This was clearly a public execution. The three-eyed giant's face was swollen from being slapped. He had let down his ancestors. Chapter 731. Many monster kings were dumbfounded. They had planned to use all kinds of methods to pressure and suppress the humans. They had even prepared for a long battle. But now, the human didn't want to play with them at all. He directly auctioned them. After all, it wasn't just 1,000 Monster Mountain that wanted the Monster King's descendants. Many human kings were also very interested in them and wanted to capture them for research. In the Cloud Realm, besides the humans and the Monster Clan, there were also some tyrannical races. Although their overall strength couldn't compare to the two races, they couldn't be underestimated. These big shots of the races weren't afraid of the Monster Clan. They might also be very interested in the Monster King's descendants. The Monster King gritted his teeth. There's news from the humans. That damned human Xia Ping feels that the Monster Clan isn't sincere. Then there's no need to talk. He decided to directly auction them and sell them to other rich human beings. Damn it. Damn it. That lowly human actually dared to do such a heartless thing. Does he want to become enemies with 1,000 Monster Mountain? Does he want to become enemies with us monster kings? The giant king roared, unable to restrain its anger. It was going crazy. If Xia Ping was here, it would definitely slap this human into pieces. How dare he do this? The Raven King was also trembling with anger. Many monster kings were also furious. Xia Ping's public auction was simply slapping Thousand Monster Mountain's face. But Xia Ping couldn't wait that long. Since these monsters didn't want to agree, then he would force them to agree. Without Butcher Zhang, would they not be able to eat furred pigs? This group of monster kings thought too highly of him. They were too arrogant, thinking that he was indispensable. It was simply a joke. For Xia Ping, these monster kings were just human ATMs. Anyway, he was going to sell the monster king's descendants. It didn't matter who he sold them to. In short, it was enough for him to get a lot of money. They still wanted to play pressure and stall for time. What a joke. Xia Ping didn't have that much time to play with them. He directly auctioned them and used force to crack them. If they didn't want these monster kings' descendants back, then Xia Ping didn't care. It was fine as long as someone paid. Kill, kill, kill. Immediately kill that lowly human Xia Ping. He wants to slap our Thousand Monster Mountain's face swollen. If we don't kill this human, the heavens won't forgive us. The giant king was furious. He wanted nothing more than to kill his way into the human world and capture Xia Ping. Yes, immediately head to the human world and kill Xia Ping. Tear him to pieces and annihilate his entire family. Ox Demon Monarch roared angrily as well. His heart was filled with rage like hundreds of volcanoes erupting. If it wasn't for the fact that this was a meeting hall, the entire mountain range would have been completely destroyed. This damned human actually dared to publicly auction off his own grandson. He was courting death. Enough. Raven King said solemnly, there's no use in being angry here. It's impossible to kill. With our strength, it's impossible to kill into the human world. The other demon monarchs won't agree to this either. Hearing this, the giant king and the other demon kings sat down like deflated balloons. They felt extremely aggrieved, but they had no choice but to agree with the Raven King's words. Although this matter seemed very serious to them and could be said to be related to the honor of the demon race, in fact, it was not a big deal to the entire demon race. It was just a small matter. After all, only the descendants of the 7 demon monarchs had been captured. And in the entire Thousand Demon Mountain, there were hundreds of king races alone, not to mention other large and small demon races. There were many kinds of them. They would not follow the giant king and the others to their deaths because of this matter. On the contrary, they would watch from the side as a joke. After all, there were many races in Thousand Demon Mountain, and there were also deep conflicts between them. Unless it was a war of annihilation, they would not be united at all. This matter was actually not difficult to understand. Even though there was only one race in the human race, there were many conflicts between them. All kinds of king families and all kinds of martial arts forces were mixed together. They all had their own goals and were hindering each other. If just one race could not be united, then how could so many races in the demon race be united? Giant King, you want to drag us demons to our deaths? I won't stand by and watch such a foolish act happen. You can go crazy on your own, but don't drag us down with you. Beside him, a Wolf King sneered. The Giant King gritted his teeth. Wolf King, what do you mean by this? Can we only watch those few geniuses of the demon race fall into the hands of humans and become battle servants? That's what they deserve. It's caused by their lack of strength. The Wolf King said disdainfully, so many geniuses of the demon race didn't fall into the hands of humans, but they were captured. I don't think they can be called geniuses. If they die, then they die. It's not a big deal. What did you say? The Giant King roared and stared at the Wolf King. This guy's words were clearly mocking the descendants of his race for being weak. That was why they were captured by humans and used as captives. That's what I mean. Anyway, isn't the three-eyed giant race very rich? Just give some money and you can redeem your descendants. It's not a big deal. But because of such a small matter, you want to drag us weak monsters to die with you? I won't agree. The Wolf King said strangely. The other monster kings were silent. Although they didn't say anything, that was indeed what they meant. Because in Thousand Demon Mountain, there weren't only strong races, but also many small races. These small races weren't very strong. If a war really broke out, they would definitely be cannon fodder. In fact, in every war, there were many small races that disappeared in the long river of history. Compared to the larger races, the monsters of these small races didn't want war to break out. After all, their race disappeared and they lost all their talents. Monsters like the three-eyed giant race wouldn't shed a single tear. They wouldn't even express anything. You. The Giant King was so angry that he wanted to slap the Wolf King to death. Anyway, you and your races can settle this yourselves. Don't drag the entire Thousand Demon Mountain into it. In fact, if a war really breaks out because of such a stupid thing, the wolf race won't participate. After saying that, the Wolf King turned and left. Sorry, the crane race won't participate. The rat race has the same opinion. Since money can solve everything, then everything can be salvaged. After all, the humans still have some sincerity. You guys go talk. Although the money is a bit too much, your races shouldn't be lacking in money. This is nothing. Whoever made a mistake should make up for it. Small races like us can't do anything. It all happened in the Sky Demon battlefield. The humans didn't do anything wrong. If we put ourselves in their shoes, if we capture the human geniuses, I don't think the humans can say anything. Instantly, many monster kings expressed their opinions. They were happy to see the giant race, the crow race, the tiger race, and the other big races of Thousand Demon Mountain make a fool of themselves. All these years, these big monsters often used Thousand Demon Mountain's name to bully the smaller races, making them pay more and bear more responsibility. However, they didn't get much in return. Now that they finally had a chance to weaken these big races, why wouldn't they do it? The Giant King and the other monster kings felt their hearts go cold. They could see that the internal conflict in Thousand Demon Mountain was very serious. They probably wanted to use Thousand Demon Mountain's power to suppress the humans. This was basically impossible. Chapter 732. Everyone, what should we do now? The Giant King looked around and looked at the remaining monster kings. There's nothing we can do. It seems like the Wanya Mountain can't come to a decision to fight the humans together and start a war. We can only prepare money and participate in the auction. No matter what, we can't let our race's genius fall into the hands of humans. He has the hope of becoming a monster king, the Raven King said in a deep voice. Even for the Hell Raven race, there were too few descendants with the potential to become monster kings. At most, they could become grandmasters. In the end, to become a monster king, talent, opportunity, and resources were indispensable. It could be said that losing such a descendant was equivalent to losing a future monster king. This was unbearable. Since we can't attack the humans, we can only agree to their request. But before that, I will contact a few human monster kings and hope that they can help and secretly save Tu Linglong and the others. Although we will have to pay a price, at least we don't need to lose face in the public auction, the Rabbit King said its decision. Even though the monster race and the human race were incompatible, there was still some contact between the monster kings. Even if they weren't as close as brothers, they still had a general friendship. If it asked for help, some human monster kings would probably give it face. That's the only way. The Giant King gritted its teeth. It never thought that the Wanya Mountain would be forced to this extent by a mere human. This was too much. However, it had to lower its head and couldn't use absolute power to deal with the humans. It could only agree to the other party's request. No matter what, it couldn't bear to see its descendant become a human slave. Fortunately, it could still use money to solve the problem. If money couldn't solve the problem, it would probably go crazy. The next day, in the elite zone of Yanhuang University, a night had already passed. Xia Ping walked out of his bedroom in high spirits and happily ate breakfast in the living room. He was in a good mood because the auction would end tonight. By then, he would have a lot of money and could buy a super battleship that could jump through space. Such a battleship could even be equipped with a super weapon that could kill a monster king. With such a weapon, he could go anywhere he wanted in the cloud realm no matter how big it was. In the living room, Tu Linglong, the Raven of Misfortune, and the other monsters looked at Xia Ping with resentment. They gnashed their teeth and wanted to eat Xia Ping alive. What's wrong? Why aren't you having breakfast? If you don't eat well, people will think that I'm abusing you. When the time comes for the auction, people will try to lower the price because of the poor quality. What should I do then? Hurry up and eat, okay? Xia Ping said as he pointed at the dazzling array of delicacies on the table. Go to hell. When Tu Linglong and the other demons heard the first half of the sentence, they thought that this human was more or less kind-hearted and cared about their physical condition. But when they heard the last few words, they wanted nothing more than to beat this human up and tear him to pieces. He was so concerned about them and even let them eat breakfast. So it turned out that he was worried about the quality of the food and was trying to lower the price. They had never seen such a shameless human before. He had no compassion at all. I'm not eating. I'm already full from anger. What's there to eat? Tu Linglong gnashed her teeth and glared at Xia Ping. Her beautiful eyes were burning with flames as if she wanted to burn Xia Ping into pieces. Little girl, if you don't hit for 3 days, you'll tear the tiles off the roof. If you don't scold for 2 days, you'll start to throw off your clothes, right? Xia Ping squinted at him. Believe it or not, I'll hang you up with only a rope on your body. Shameless. Tu Linglong's face was deathly pale, and her proud body couldn't help but tremble. If she was really hung up by this shameless human with a rope, she didn't know what kind of torture she would suffer. She had heard that there were many perverts among humans who could do all kinds of shameless things with ropes. There were even perverts who shamelessly called it art. Thinking of this, Tu Linglong suddenly stood beside Xia Ping. She was very obedient and didn't dare to throw a tantrum anymore. That's right. It's hard to correct one's mistakes. From now on, be a good maid and do my laundry, make tea, and warm my bed. Xia Ping took the opportunity to instill the concept of a maid into Tu Linglong's mind. Do you know what the 3 obediences and 4 virtues are? They are obedience, obedience, and obedience. In short, you have to be obedient and do whatever I tell you to do. Don't talk back and don't say that you can't do it. You have to have a gentle personality and speak in a gentle tone. Master is your first choice in everything. He admonished Tu Linglong. Yes, master. Tu Linglong bared her teeth, wishing that she could bite this shameless human to death. However, she was still extremely obedient on the surface, as if she had already become a loyal and adorable maid. She walked to Xia Ping's side and very naturally helped him massage his shoulders and legs. It had become a habit for her these days. She was a pitiful saintess of the demon race. She had been pampered since childhood and had never done such things to serve others. Now, she had been trained by this shameless human and learned all kinds of maid skills. The heavens pitied her. She had no intention of learning such useless things at all and was now forced to learn them. By the way, Crows of Misfortune, do you have any ideas? If you have any requests, feel free to speak your mind. I'm a very democratic person, and I like to listen to other people's opinions the most. I just don't like to implement them. Xia Ping said carelessly. Bullshit. The Crows of Misfortune and the other demons gritted their teeth. They were now equivalent to slaves in ancient times, waiting to be sold by the slave owner. But now, the slave owner even asked the slaves what they thought. Wasn't this clearly asking for trouble? If it weren't for the fact that they couldn't beat this despicable human, they would have risen up and rebelled against the tyranny of the slave owner. He even said that he liked to listen to other people's opinions and didn't intend to implement them. What the hell was the use of their opinions? Was there such a democratic person? No, we don't have any requests. This is good enough. The crows of misfortune and the other demons said. This was actually their true thoughts. They had already come to the human world, and it was impossible for them to escape. Now, their biggest thought was to not cause trouble and leave this ferocious human as soon as possible. This was the best outcome for them. Therefore, they didn't want to offend this human now. Otherwise, if this human flew into a rage, they might suffer. Ring ring at this moment, Xia Ping's communicator rang. Xia Ping's eyes flashed. He saw that the caller ID was an unknown number, but he didn't hesitate and picked up the unknown number on the spot. With a snap, a virtual projection appeared. An old man in a blue robe appeared in front of Xia Ping. He had a pair of triangular eyes and didn't look like a good person. Even through the virtual projection, he could see that the old man was exuding a tyrannical aura. He was a king. Chapter 733. Hui Yongming. I don't know him. Hearing this, Xia Ping looked at the blue-robed elder in confusion. This was the first time he'd heard of this name. It was also the first time he'd seen this elder. I'm the leader of the Hua clan, Hui Yongming said in a deep voice. Hua Gang, the descendant of the Hua clan, was taken care of by you. Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. He also thought of the core student, Hua Gang. I see. Why did you call me? Do you want to punish me? If I wanted to punish you, I would have done it a long time ago. Why wait until now? To a king, what you did is just a small matter. It's not worth mentioning, Hui Yongming said indifferently. But what you did today is really big. You dared to publicly auction the prodigies of the demon race. Have you thought about the consequences? If you start a war between humans and demons, you'll be the culprit. You'll have to take full responsibility. His tone was very strict, as if Xia Ping was some war criminal. Then what do you want? Xia Ping didn't express his attitude. Hui Yongming put on a look of consideration for Xia Ping and said, of course, unconditionally release the prodigies of the demon race and apologize to them to appease their anger. This will benefit both sides. There's no need to make a big fuss. He gave his opinion. Oh, if there's nothing else, I'll hang up. I still have something to do. Hearing this, Xia Ping wanted to hang up. He didn't even want to waste words with Hui Yongming. Not to mention the fact that unconditionally releasing the prodigies of the demon race was too much, he actually wanted him to apologize. Was he really a Class A war criminal? Even if this elder was a king, he couldn't criticize this matter. Young man. Hui Yongming's tone was very unhappy. He could tell that Xia Ping wanted to hang up. What are you trying to do? You want to hang up on a king? You're too daring. Don't you know what manners are? He was very angry. Ever since he'd advanced to the king realm, no one had dared to speak to him in such a tone, let alone someone who dared to hang up on him. This was simply unheard of. 1,000 cups are too little when drinking with a bosom friend. Half a sentence is too much when we don't get along. I have nothing to say to you. You don't have a backbone, and you can't stand up after kneeling for so long. I can't blame you for that. Anyway, this is your personality. Xia Ping sneered, but you think that you can order me around just because you're a king? You think too highly of yourself. He didn't bother being polite with the blue-robed old man at all. Even though the other party was a king, anyone who dared to obstruct him was an enemy. Since he was an enemy, what else could he say? As expected of the champion of the genius battle, a peerless monster. He does have a temper. Hui Yongming was so angry that he laughed. He took a deep breath and suppressed the anger in his heart. If they were outside, he could kill this arrogant person with a single slap. How dare he act so arrogantly in front of a king? He must have lost his patience. However, Xia Ping was currently at Yanhuang University, a place where experts and kings were as common as clouds. Unless he wanted the Hua clan to be exterminated and his own reputation ruined, he wouldn't do such a disgraceful thing to harm Xia Ping. Therefore, he could only swallow his anger. Senior, don't you also have a temper? You always want others to apologize, and if they don't obey, you use your power to oppress them. Your temper is quite big, Xia Ping mocked. Hu Yongming was so angry that his face turned pale. This damned guy was clearly mocking him. He took a deep breath and suppressed the anger in his heart. Fine, I was indeed a little inappropriate in this matter. How about this? I can make the decision to buy those demon race prodigies around you for 100 billion federal coins each. You don't have to continue the auction and end it like this, lest you anger the demon race and stimulate their nerves. He waved his hand and took a step back. He also put forward his own conditions, saying that he would give Xia Ping 100 billion federal coins each. That would be the end of this matter. 100 billion federal coins? You're sending off a beggar. Xia Ping immediately laughed loudly. My base price is at least 300 billion federal coins, and you only gave me 100 billion. Are you illiterate, or are you hallucinating? Hu Yongming said coldly, Xia Ping, don't go too far. Who doesn't know that you're asking for 300 billion federal coins? This is an unrealistic number. No one can afford it. It's already a good number to be able to get 100 billion. Hurry up and be grateful. If the demon race gets angry, you won't even have a hair. He warned Xia Ping not to be too greedy because he had already taken a step back. As a king, he actually took a step back in front of a grandmaster. He felt that he had already given Xia Ping a lot of face. If it wasn't for Xia Ping's status as an employee of the giant company, the champion of the genius battle, and an elite student of Yanhuang University, he would have directly used his power to oppress Xia Ping. A mere grandmaster wouldn't dare to go against the king's order. None of your business. Xia Ping sneered. What does it have to do with you whether I can afford it or not? Who are you to come here and talk? If I give you face, you're a king. If I don't give you face, you're just an old dog. Don't talk nonsense here. I'm definitely going to win this auction. He looked at Hu Yongming with disdain. You. Hu Yongming was so angry that his beard curled up. His face was very gloomy. You refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. Do you know what the consequences of rejecting a king are? To tell you the truth, I'm not the only one who thinks about this. Some other kings have the same thought. They think that you should consider the big picture. You shouldn't let the human race get into huge trouble for your own selfishness. He warned Xia Ping that this matter had already received the support of some kings. He wasn't alone. Oh, tell them to come bite me. Xia Ping sneered. With a snap, he immediately hung up on Hu Yongming and blacklisted his number, never to contact him again. This old man thought that he could use the power of other kings to oppress him, force him to lower his head and hand over those geniuses of the demon race. What a joke. He didn't even know how strong he was. Now that he was a grandmaster, he wasn't too far away from the king realm. Therefore, he thought that he had started to have the power to be on equal footing with a king. At this moment, in a villa. Damn it. With a bang, Hu Yongming grabbed the communicator in his hand and smashed it on the ground. Immediately, a huge pit with a diameter of 10 meters was formed. Gravel flew in all directions, smoke and dust billowed, and there were shocking cracks everywhere on the ground. He was so angry that his face was flushed red. As a king, he was actually hung up on. Even when he called back, the other party didn't pick up. Obviously, his number had entered the blacklist. Chapter 734. At this moment, there were a few kings standing beside Hu Yongming. They had also seen what happened. That young man is too arrogant. A gray-robed old man coldly said, he actually dares to be so disrespectful to a king and doesn't put us in his eyes. What gave him the guts? He was also extremely furious. Although he wasn't the one talking to Xia Ping, he could feel Hu Yongming's anger. What else can it be? He must be someone from the giant corporation and has gained a lot of attention. That's why he dares to be so fearless. He doesn't even care about the king's words and hangs up just like that. It's probably not a blessing for humanity to have such a person grow to the king realm. A hawk-nosed old man sinisterly said. Killing intent radiated from him. What's the point of saying all this? Another white-robed old man solemnly said, that brat isn't willing to hand over those monster geniuses. We have no way to force him or we will attract the attention of the other kings. At that time, we will be in big trouble. The problem is that those monster kings promised us many benefits. We have no choice but to do this. Even if the human race and the monster race were like fire and water, they were currently in a period of peace. The two races would interact with each other and the kings would interact with each other as well. This time, the monster kings proposed a condition that they couldn't refuse. Hence, they decided to stand up for those monster geniuses, hoping to silently rescue them. Unexpectedly, their plan actually failed. That despicable brat didn't put them in his eyes at all. It's fine. Coldness flashed in Hu Yongming's eyes. That brat thinks too highly of himself. It's fine if he doesn't agree. I can't be bothered to continue talking nonsense with him. Doesn't he want to organize an auction? Let's spoil his plans and see what he can do. What do you mean? The old men present all looked at Hu Yongming curiously. That brat organized the auction in such a short period of time. Also, it's only on the internet. I believe not many people know about this. Hu Yongming said. We can use our power to delete all his posts on the internet. That way, who would know that he wants to organize an auction? If no one knows, then no one will participate. At that time, I'm afraid that the auction will not be auctioned. Not many people can afford to buy that group of demon race geniuses. Everyone nodded, and their eyes lit up. After all, those who could afford this amount of money were basically super rich and famous in the cloud realm or sovereign families. If these people didn't participate, then this so-called auction would end in vain. As long as we mess up his so-called auction a few times, I believe he will know how foolish his actions are. At that time, he will obediently agree to our conditions. Otherwise, he won't even be able to earn a single cent. Furthermore, as long as we can't hold a public auction, the fiend race's face will be preserved. We won't be publicly humiliated, and will have fulfilled some of the conditions that the fiend race's king promised. Hu Yongming had a confident look on his face. Amazing, truly amazing. Everyone on the scene said excitedly. They were kings, wielding authority and power. Deleting posts on the internet was a simple matter for them. As long as they were willing, no posts related to Xia Ping's auction would appear on the internet. It could be said that Xia Ping would be banned from the internet, and nothing would be left. Moreover, to the fiend race, as long as they didn't make a big deal out of it and cause them to lose face, they could still accept it. The problem is that this brat is from the giant corporation. If he asks the giant corporation for help, I'm afraid our plan will fall apart. Some kings were worried about this matter. Hu Yongming coldly laughed. This is nothing. Maybe you guys don't know this, but although this brat tricked a group of core students, he also angered many human kings at the same time. They are all unhappy with him. If this brat is unlucky, they won't mind stepping on him. Even within the giant corporation, there are people who think that we need to suppress this brat and give him some training. Otherwise, if he continues to be so arrogant, he will attract a great calamity. Even if we really ban this brat from the internet, as long as we don't harm his life, the giant corporation won't take revenge. They will only think that this is a method to train this brat. He had already calculated everything. Everyone nodded. They also knew the methods used by the superpowers to nurture geniuses. They wouldn't be like nannies that would follow the geniuses all the time. They would only provide some necessary assistance at crucial moments. Soon, that brat will know what the power of a king is. It isn't something a puny elite master like him can compare to, Hu Yongming sinisterly said. This time, he wanted to teach that arrogant brat a deep lesson. A few hours later. In Yanhuang University, Xia Ping was in his villa. He soon discovered that something was wrong on the internet. This was because he discovered that all his posts on the forum had disappeared. They were all deleted. Even the topic of the auction had been banned. Everything with the keyword Xia Ping would be deleted. It was as though the entire internet had banned the topic of Xia Ping's auction. The topic also gradually cooled down. There weren't many people discussing it anymore. If this continued, there wouldn't be many people participating in the auction. So that's how it is. Did the kings make a move? They actually deleted all my posts on the forum. They want to block me from the source and completely destroy my auction. Their methods are really dirty. Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. He had seen that the power of a king was indeed very strong. With just a sentence, they could block the entire internet and delete many posts on it. Even if it was a superstar, if they offended a king, they would be completely blacklisted and would disappear without a trace. In fact, if it was possible, they even wanted to directly ban Xia Ping's auction in the online shopping mall. However, the online shopping mall was the property of the giant company. No matter how powerful they were, they couldn't affect the online shopping mall. Although the giant company wouldn't get involved in this kind of struggle, it didn't mean that these kings could do whatever they wanted. If even the company's business was affected, they wouldn't be allowed to do whatever they wanted. Interesting. Since you guys want to play, I'll play with you guys. Xia Ping rolled his eyes. He felt that this was a great opportunity. He might be able to gain a lot of hatred. You guys think that you can block my news with this kind of method? Dream on. Xia Ping had ways to deal with this kind of method. However, he didn't expect that a king like Hu Yongming would go to such an extent for a group of demon race geniuses. Chapter 735. Half an hour later, Xia Ping brought Tu Linglong to the headquarters of the Pingtian sect. He needed Feng Hetang and the others' help. He needed them to solve this problem. Big brother. At this moment, Feng Hetang received Xia Ping's call and was already waiting at the entrance of the headquarters. Apart from that, the entrance was also filled with a dense crowd. They all wore white sportswear with the words, Pingtian sect written on the back. They were clearly in uniform. So powerful. Is this the legendary sect master of our Pingtian sect, Xia Ping? He's so powerful. His aura is extraordinary. Even from 100 meters away, I can clearly feel the sect master's aura. It's like a spring breeze. He even brings a girl with him when he goes out, and she's a beauty at that. As expected of the sect master. His realm is different from ours. Oh my god, this must be the legendary saintess of the demon race, Tu Linglong. As expected of the saintess. She's so beautiful. I heard that the sect master captured her from the celestial demon battlefield. What? The demon race is so good. I heard that in a primitive society, people don't need to send flowers when they're in love. They just take a mace and knock out any beautiful girl they see. Then, they bring her back to the cave to get married. Damn, this kind of love is really primitive and direct. But that's the way to go. What's the point of dating? They just knock her out when they see her. That's so simple and direct. Don't waste everyone's time. Stop talking nonsense. Those demons are so savage. They eat people without spitting out bones. You want to knock her out? You'll probably be cooked and eaten before you even get to her. That's right. Only a peerless genius like Lord Sect Master could do such a thing. Taking someone's head from 1,000 miles away, shocking the crowd, and forcibly taking away the saintess, making those demons stomp their feet in anger. I heard that the sect master is already a grandmaster. His strength is extraordinary. Why is there such a huge difference between people? I heard that the sect master is just a freshman like us, but he's already miles ahead of us. He's about to become a core student. Otherwise, he's the sect master while we're just running errands. Many members of the Pingtian sect looked at Xia Ping in admiration. They had heard of Xia Ping's countless achievements. He had challenged over 100 societies, killed bandits, slain the prodigies of the demon race, subdued the core students, and became the champion of the genius battle. Now, he had displayed his prowess in the Heaven Beast battlefield, capturing several fiend race geniuses as his battle pets. He was in the limelight and was hailed as an invincible king in the future. As long as he didn't die, he would definitely become a great character that stood at the peak of the human race. All kinds of legends made them unswervingly loyal to Xia Ping, and they worshipped him greatly. You're already a martial master. Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. He could sense that Feng Hatang's martial arts cultivation had improved by leaps and bounds. Unlike a few months ago, he had already advanced to the martial master realm. He counted carefully. It had been almost a year since he came to Yanhuang University, and he was not the only one who had improved. The other students had also made great progress in their martial arts cultivation. I was just lucky. I can't compare to Big Brother. Feng Hatang had a humble expression, but he could not hide the pride on his face. In just a year, he had advanced from the third heaven of fighter to the martial master realm. Even in the entire Yanhuang University, he was a rare existence. Of course, he could not compare to Xia Ping, who was a freak, but he was much faster than the other students. In fact, his rapid progress had a lot to do with the Pingtian sect. Because of the establishment of the Pingtian sect, it gradually became a super society in Yanhuang University. There were many experts, and they formed cliques everywhere to plunder resources and bully the market. As a result, the Pingtian sect grew stronger and stronger, and they gained countless benefits. Even though some people wanted to suppress the Pingtian sect, they saw that Xia Ping was too popular. He had even advanced to the Grandmaster realm and would soon become a core student of Yanhuang University. Many people suppressed their restlessness. They could only watch as the monstrous organization, the Pingtian sect, continued to grow. As the second-in-command of the Pingtian sect, Feng Hatang naturally gained countless benefits. First were cultivation resources. He did not know how much he had obtained, but it was even more than what he had obtained from his own family. In addition, his king-level cultivation method, the Gluttonous Heart Sutra, was a supreme cultivation method that could only be cultivated by accumulating resources. The more precious the food, the faster the cultivation speed. As a result, his martial cultivation advanced by leaps and bounds, and he advanced to the first heaven of martial master realm. You actually brought a girl here to inspect the Pingtian sect. The sect master is really arrogant. A charming voice rang out and reached Xia Ping's ears. Xia Ping immediately looked over and saw that the person who had spoken was a woman with a graceful figure. She had a devastatingly beautiful appearance and a pair of lively eyes that seemed to be able to speak. Just by looking at them, any man would feel as if they had fallen into the river of love and were unable to extricate themselves. Her figure was graceful, her long legs were straight, and her waist was slender. It was as if she had been outlined by the golden ratio, a masterpiece of God. Every inch of her was incomparably perfect, just right, and it made one feel relaxed and happy. Her long hair cascaded down like a waterfall, just enough to cover her tunic. Her body emitted an endless charm and radiance. She became the focus of everyone's attention just by standing there. No one could ignore her. Without a doubt, she was a great beauty, like a female star who had walked out of a television show. Tu Linglong could not help but widen her beautiful eyes. She could also feel that this woman was extraordinary. She was a peerless human beauty that could rival her. With such an outstanding temperament, she was like a goddess. Su-ji. Xia Ping blinked his eyes. He saw that this woman was Su-ji, and beside her stood a group of female idols, like a group of female idols. Many of the surrounding male students looked at them with adoration, as if they were fanatical fans. Feng Hetong, why are these girls here? Xia Ping asked curiously. Feng Hetong immediately said, Big brother, they've already joined the Pingtian Gate. Right now, young lady Su is the third most important person in our Pingtian Gate. She's like the vice sect master. In reality, it's all thanks to young lady Su's help that our Pingtian Gate has developed so quickly. It's like the sun in the sky. He introduced Su-ji's contributions to the Pingtian Gate. Very good. Work harder in the future, work overtime often, and contribute to the Pingtian Gate. There will be a day when you can make a name for yourself. Xia Ping was like a big boss, giving out rewards and empty promises to outstanding employees. Who wants to work overtime for you? Su-ji snapped when she heard this. Her beautiful eyes glared at this bastard. This guy clearly hasn't been to the Pingtian Gate many times, and he's only a spiritual leader. Now, he's acting like the boss of the Pingtian Gate, treating all of them as employees. He even wants them to work overtime for free. He's shameless to the extreme. Chapter 736. Strange, it seems like your martial arts cultivation has improved a lot. Xia Ping touched his chin. He sensed that Su-ji's martial arts progress was very fast. She had advanced to the fourth layer of martial master, which was much stronger than before. But thinking about it carefully, even Feng Hetong had improved at lightning speed. After such a long time, Su-ji, who was more talented and had the resources of the King family, should have advanced to the fourth layer of martial master. Humph, you are not the only one who can improve. Now I am an elite student of Yanhuang University. Su-ji said proudly. Among the many new students, her martial arts cultivation could be ranked in the top 10. Elite student is nothing. I will soon become a core student. Xia Ping said. What? Su-ji gritted her teeth. She was very unwilling. She almost forgot that this guy in front of her was a super abnormal. He was obviously a new student, but he was worse than her when he first entered the school. Now he actually advanced to the master realm. His speed of improvement was very fast. By the way, do you want to come to my house tonight? I will give you some pointers. I guarantee that you will soon be promoted to the master realm. Xia Ping showed the appearance of a good teacher. Who needs your pointers, smelly rogue? Don't think I don't know what you are thinking. Su-ji spat at this rogue. He wanted her to come to his house tonight. If he really went there, would she still be intact tomorrow? She would have long been eaten up. He even said he would give her pointers on martial arts cultivation. A man and a woman alone in a room, and they still talked about martial arts. If they talked, they would probably be eaten up by this rogue's beast nature. Forget it. A dog bites Lu Dongbin. You don't recognize my kindness. It is rare that I want to give you pointers. I didn't expect you to misunderstand that I have evil intentions. Now it is hard to be a good person. Xia Ping was very emotional. What is wrong with people? There is no trust between them. Bullshit. Su-ji gritted her teeth. This kid is showing off. Who is he calling a dog? She disdainfully said, even if you are a master, my sister Su-mei is a genius who is about to be promoted to the king level. I don't know how high her martial arts cultivation is. Even if I ask her for advice, I will not ask you for advice. She said that Xia Ping's martial arts cultivation was not worth mentioning. Compared to a real expert, he was far away. Xia Ping blinked his eyes. Your sister. By the way, where is your sister now? There doesn't seem to be any news about her. It's none of your business. What are you trying to do to my sister? Su Ji very vigilantly looked at Xia Ping. She felt that this rogue was not only eyeing her, but also eyeing her sister. It was said that many men's dream was to enjoy the blessings of having 2 wives, sisters, twin lotuses and so on. This beast probably had the same bad idea. Although she wasn't worried that her sister would like this hooligan, she couldn't stand the fact that this hooligan was despicable. If he drugged her sister, it would be a disaster. At the thought of this, she warned Xia Ping, "I'm warning you, my sister is already in closed-door training. Once she comes out, she'll be a king. If you have any bad intentions towards my sister, you'd better put them away immediately. Otherwise, if big sister gets angry, you'll be finished. Maybe even your tools will be confiscated." She looked dangerously at a certain part of Xia Ping's body. Soon to become a king. Xia Ping blinked. He was extremely curious about how to advance into the king realm. After all, the king realm was an extremely difficult realm for any genius. Without a fated chance, even if one wasted dozens or hundreds of years, they still wouldn't be able to break through. However, now was not the time to care about this. He turned his head and said to Feng Hatong, "This time, I have something that I need the Pingtian sect's help with." "Big brother, please say it." "We'll definitely do our best until the day we die." Feng Hatong patted his chest. Xia Ping immediately explained the reason. He said that he had offended some king realm cultivators and was banned from the internet. Any post discussing the auction on the forum had been deleted. The situation was very serious. Therefore, he needed to borrow the power of the Pingtian sect's disciples to help him post on the internet, create momentum and public opinion, promote the auction, and make the so-called online ban invisible. This is the best. Hearing this, Su Ji was completely speechless. This rogue was really audacious. Previously, he only offended some students. Now, he even offended a king realm cultivator and was banned. Did he really not know how to write the word death? When ordinary people heard the anger of a king realm cultivator, they would already be trembling in fear. They would immediately go over and apologize in fear and trepidation. How would they dare to resist? However, this kid actually did not take it seriously. He even wanted to resist and slap the face of a king realm cultivator. She didn't know if she was crazy, or if this guy was crazy. "Big brother, don't worry. This matter will be settled. Our Pingtian sect might not have much, but we have a lot of people." Feng Hatong was not bragging. Up until now, the Pingtian sect already had 100,000 disciples. They were spread all over Yanhuang University. There were even students from other universities who wanted to join after hearing about the Pingtian sect. Now, Feng Hatong was even considering opening branches in other universities. His short-term goal was to have a Pingtian sect in every university. This way, the power gathered would be quite terrifying. Because of this, even though Su Ji hated Xia Ping, she still thought of a way to join the Pingtian sect. She could see the potential of the Pingtian sect. If she joined, she would definitely receive a huge boost. Now, it seemed that things were just as she expected. It had already become a giant society in Yanhuang University. And Su Ji had also obtained a lot of benefits from it. Of course, what she wanted to do the most was to take the Pingtian sect for herself and completely control it. She wanted that shameless bastard Xia Ping to be the lone commander and take over the magpie's nest. However, things were not going smoothly so far. Not only was there Feng Hatong's obstruction, but more importantly, that bastard Xia Ping's presence was too high. He often caused big trouble and would shock the sky realm from time to time. Who knew how many students chose to join the Pingtian sect because they admired Xia Ping? She wanted to use some tricks to subdue those unruly students, but it was not possible in a short period of time. This made Su Ji want to scold that bastard. Didn't he know how to keep a low profile? Who knew when he would stop causing trouble all day long? Very good. Xia Ping was very satisfied. However, this is not enough. I also want the 100,000 disciples of the Pingtian sect to work together. Each of them will find 10 people, and then another 10 people. They will post on all the major forums and forums 24 hours a day to promote the auction. Chapter 737. Big Brother, wouldn't it be too much to get 0.5 federal coins for a random post? Hearing this, Feng Hatang hesitated for a moment. He felt that this number was not simple. Because by simple calculation, if he posted 10,000 posts, wouldn't he be able to earn 5,000 federal coins? If he posted 1 million posts, he could earn 500,000 federal coins. If he posted 10 billion posts, he would need 5 billion. This number was simply an astronomical figure. It's okay. If the problem can be solved with money, then it's not a problem. I'll take out 10 billion and spend it however I want. Xia Ping felt that this was nothing. His auction was worth trillions. Wasn't it a matter of course to take out tens of billions for publicity? For him, this was simply a drop in the bucket. As expected of Big Brother, you're rich and imposing. Feng Hatang admired. He suddenly remembered that his big brother was not a poor ghost. His net worth was more than 1 trillion. A mere 10 billion federal coins was nothing to him. It was just a hair on his big brother's body. By the way, you need to find those trolls on the internet. They are people who have nothing to do all day and only know how to stay at home and scold people on the internet. They are the legendary professional trolls. I believe they are very willing to do this kind of thing. Moreover, their fighting power is extremely strong. They can scold the enemy until they doubt their life. Xia Ping pointed out to Feng Hatang. Feng Hatang was in awe. His big brother still understood the market. To be honest, he had been touched by these trolls. He was chased on the internet for more than a dozen streets and scolded for a full 3 days and 3 nights. They even scolded him every few days and 5 days, as punctual as an alarm clock. These trolls usually had nothing to do. If he gave them money to post, they would probably be very willing to be recruited. Even if some people were self-righteous and not very willing, it was not a big deal. It was enough as long as most people agreed. What he needed was quantity, not quality. Take money to post? This was the first time she heard of this kind of thing. Since when could you get money for posting on the internet? This money was too easy to earn. However, she seriously thought about it. If tens of billions of posts appeared on the internet, how terrifying would that be? The word, flooding a mountain of gold, was not enough to describe that kind of horror. It was estimated that the entire internet world would be occupied by this group of trolls. Money was not omnipotent, but the power of real money was very terrifying. It was almost omnipotent. Not long after, the order was sent to every disciple in the Pingtian sect. This was the highest order from the Pingtian sect. No disciple was allowed to skimp on their work, or they would be expelled from the sect. The power of 100,000 disciples moving together was extremely terrifying. They all had a large family beside them, at least 100 people, and even small families had a dozen people. And these family members had many relatives and friends who kept in touch with each other. Someone even joined a large chat group with thousands of people. In just a few hours, the Pingtian sect had mobilized almost 10 million people. They told them that they could receive money as long as they made a post. Moreover, the money could be distributed directly without any delay. It can't be. You can earn money just by posting. Is there such a good thing? Fuck, he's giving 50 cents for a post. Which tycoon is so generous? Such a good thing, I'd be a fool not to do it. This is simply a pie falling from the sky. Post it. Even if you're beaten to death, you have to post it. Leave it to us. I don't know anything, but I know how to scold people. It's not that I'm bragging, but as long as you give me a bottle of alcohol, I can scold them until they doubt their lives. Many people were stunned by this news. This was the first time they had heard that posting could earn money. For them, posting a post was a simple matter. It didn't take much effort at all. The work was simple, and they could earn money. They would be complete fools not to agree. At this moment, the entire online world was in an uproar. Various forums, and communication tools began to flood with posts. What a bully! Everyone, look at this beast of a hoodlum. How dare he do such a thing in broad daylight? Deranged. The former champion of the genius battle, Xia Ping, has become such a person. He uses his strength to commit all sorts of evil, bringing disaster everywhere and harming innocent people. Is no one going to do anything about it? Is this a regression of history, a loss of humanity, or a loss of morals? Why has Xia Ping, the champion of the Sky Demon battlefield, become like this? Has he been cursed, or has his true nature been exposed? A large number of posts with the same title were immediately posted. They described Xia Ping's capture of the demon race's geniuses and his plan to auction them. They also stated the time and place. There were even pictures of Tu Linglong and the other monsters. However, in order to make the publicity more effective and let more tycoons know about this matter, Xia Ping decided to change the time of the auction to 3 days later. Fuck, it's all a title. Liar. How is this bullying? Isn't this just capturing some demon battle servants? Although there are men and women among them, it's not like this at all. Well, there's nothing wrong with the title. People nowadays are always thinking of making a big news. I've already caught the editor of this news. Everyone, if you like it, I'll flick his dick. Flick it. My hand is fast. I've clicked more than 10 times in a second. Some people shouted that they had been deceived. They thought that there was finally a big piece of news, but they didn't expect such a thing to happen. It was said that Xia Ping had captured a few demon geniuses from the Sky Demon battlefield. Not only was this not a bad thing, but it was also a good thing. In fact, this was also encouraged by the Federation government. What a beast! Such a beautiful rabbit girl has been captured by that beast Xia Ping. I can't imagine what kind of treatment she will receive. Someone noticed Tu Linglong's existence. In fact, Tu Linglong was like a crane in a flock of chickens when she was with a group of fiendish monsters. She was like a goddess and immediately captured the hearts of many people. Oh my god, is this a girl from the rabbit race? You're so beautiful that I can't help but feel pity for you. It's over, it's all over. It's all over. How can she get any benefits from falling into the hands of that beast Xia Ping? She's definitely being toiled by that bastard day and night, doing shameless things all day. Didn't they say that these demon race geniuses were going to be auctioned? Why didn't the rabbit race's saintess appear? That guy already said that she's not for sale. He wants to capture her to warm his bed and make her his personal maid. Shameless. Even humans can't satisfy this beast. He's actually starting to stretch his hands into the demon race. Many people cried out in alarm. They were all grieved. Such a demon race's saintess had actually fallen into the hands of the famous Xia Ping. The odds were against her. This was because Xia Ping's reputation had started to stink in the cloud realm. Many people knew of his glorious deeds. Some people said that he achieved the 1,000 slaughter in high school. Chapter 738. Someone exclaimed, "What kind of auction is this? It's too ridiculous. The starting price is 300 billion federal coins. This is a robbery. It's even more expensive than gold." He saw some information about the auction. It would cost at least 300 billion to get a demon race genius, and that was only the starting price. If it was really auctioned, the price would probably be even higher. It was an astronomical figure. It's a bit high, but these are demon race geniuses with the potential to become kings. Buying a future king with a few hundred billion isn't a bad deal. Bullshit. Talent is just talent. There are many demons who are stuck in a bottleneck and can never break through. If they can't break through, is this kid going to refund the money? You can't say that. If there was a 100% guarantee, would the starting price be only 300 billion? It's possible to go up to 1 trillion. Since it's a business, there should be awareness of the risks. This is no different from gambling. It's still too ridiculous. How many people can afford to gamble? There are still many rich people in this world. There are many who can afford to gamble. Many people were shocked by the contents of the auction. They felt that it was simply a sky-high auction. The starting price was beyond everyone's imagination. It was unbelievable. The starting price alone was enough to stop 99% of the humans in the entire cloud realm from entering. However, the more it was so, the more interested the surrounding people became. As these posts continued to appear on major forums, and communication software, the discussion about Xia Ping's auction became more and more intense. The ranking rose crazily. It had already reached hundreds of millions of searches. This news spread to all parts of the cloud realm like a plague and kept growing. At this time, Hui Yongming and the other kings also heard the news from their subordinates. They would never have thought that the kid would have such a trick up his sleeve. He sent the Internet Water Army to advertise and stir up the topic. Even if they wanted to delete the posts, there were hundreds of thousands or even millions of posts. They couldn't delete all of them. What's going on? Didn't I tell you to delete the posts? As soon as this so-called auction appeared, they immediately deleted it and blocked this topic from the internet. They couldn't afford to make any mistakes. But what was going on now? It actually became public opinion. Countless people started discussing it. Did they grow up eating shit? There's something wrong with their brains, they can't understand human language. Hui Yongming roared. He was furious on the spot and flew into a rage towards some of his subordinates. Right now, he was unable to restrain his anger. If the anger in his heart could condense into substance, the entire city would probably be completely burned down. Originally, in order to suppress this auction and completely surround Xia Ping, they paid a huge price. But now, because of a moment of carelessness, all their efforts were wasted. Right now, he even wanted to kill someone. Lord Family Head, I'm sorry. It's not that we don't want to delete it, but there are simply too many posts. There are hundreds of thousands, even millions of them. We simply can't manage them all. The subordinate felt extremely wronged. This wasn't because they were incompetent, but because their opponent was simply too cunning. Excuses, all of them are excuses. Hui Yongming was furious. I don't care what methods you use. You must suppress this public opinion. Any topic discussed with Xia Ping must be immediately deleted. Completely deleted. No news must appear. You want hundreds of thousands or even millions of posts. What a joke. Delete them all. Don't leave a single one. I'd rather kill 1,000 by mistake than let one go. I'd like to see them post faster, or we delete them faster. His expression was ferocious, and he planned to fight to the death with Xia Ping. Posting a post still required a certain amount of time, but deleting it didn't necessarily take that time. As long as some forbidden words appeared, they could immediately delete them manually. It was extremely efficient. In this world, destruction was always easier than construction. Yes, delete them all. He still wants to use this group of Internet Water Army to spread the news. He's simply dreaming. That brat thinks of all sorts of crooked tricks all day long. He doesn't know how to do proper business. This time, we must completely shut him down and let him see how powerful we are. No matter how many people there are, in the face of absolute power, he's just a pile of shit. Barren mountains and unruly rivers produce unruly people. This damned unruly person is actually starting to pester endlessly. We must not let him succeed. The group of King Tears gritted their teeth. It wasn't easy for them to unite and try to shut down this auction. But now, Xia Ping suddenly appeared and broke through the blockade. If this auction was really held successfully, then where would they hide their faces? Wouldn't this mean that even king tiers were nothing? If they couldn't even deal with a mere grandmaster, then who would be afraid of them? Yes, master. The group of subordinates immediately went to do it. They all entered the back end of the website and mobilized a large number of people to manually delete all the posts regarding the auction. Not a single one was left. In an instant, the entire internet was filled with wails and countless people died. Many posts regarding the auction were crazily deleted. Sometimes, the entire page of a certain forum disappeared. The people from Pingtian's sect began to feel a formless and terrifying power shrouding the internet world, creating a great pressure. This was the power of the king tiers. Even though they had put in a lot of effort, they were still as weak as infants in the face of the king tiers. Interesting. Xia Ping also knew about this. Not only was he not angry, but he even laughed. You want to use your power to delete the posts? Forget it, I want to see if you guys delete faster or if we post faster. You want to fight with me? What a joke. Isn't it just a matter of money? I have as much money as you want. Pass down the order. Mobilize 10 times the number of people and slaughter the forum. He gave the order. Yes. The people from Pingtian's sect shouted. All of them seemed to have been injected with chicken blood. The order was transmitted in all directions through the communication device. They were all posting crazily. There were tens of millions of people. If each of them posted a post, it would be tens of millions. If they posted 10 posts, it would be 100 million. These posts flooded the entire internet. It was like a flood that flooded all the websites and forums. At the same time, it also generated a huge amount of data. At the same time, they also deliberately put some forbidden words on the ordinary posts. As a result, it was a disaster for the fish in the pond. The administrators who deleted the posts subconsciously deleted these posts. As a result, this made the ordinary netizens furious. They also posted to condemn this behavior and express their dissatisfaction. Chapter 739. What's going on? Why is this happening? Isn't our company's server the best? The company's CEO's expression changed drastically because every second the company's server crashed would cause countless losses. This was simply unimaginable. There might even be customers who would sue them for compensation. If it's just posting, it doesn't matter how many you post. However, hackers are taking advantage of the situation and attacking our company's internal network in an attempt to obtain our company's internal information. An employee hurriedly said. Internet companies like theirs had the most valuable internal information. Usually, they would be targeted by many hackers. However, they had the most powerful defense system and had always been well protected, preventing those hackers from succeeding. However, it was different today. There was suddenly such a large amount of traffic, causing the server to slow down for a moment. This was discovered by the hackers who had been watching the company. This was a rare opportunity. If they missed this opportunity, there wouldn't be another one. In the end, these hackers attacked the internet company crazily and started a cyber war, wanting to collapse the company's defense network. It could be said that Xia Ping's action had affected the entire company. Damn hackers! The company's CEO roared, how dare they take advantage of the situation? Stop them immediately. We definitely can't let them obtain our company's customer information. Otherwise, our company will be finished. We might even go bankrupt. He thought of many cases where some companies were attacked by hackers and planted viruses, causing all the customer information to be hijacked. If they wanted the information back, they would have to pay the hackers a large amount of money to avoid disaster. If they could spend a sum of money to solve this problem, they wouldn't have to worry so much. However, these hackers were simply jackals. After succeeding once, they would target you every time. They would constantly watch for the company's flaws until they emptied your wallet. Countless small companies had been forced to bankruptcy by hackers. This was a dark microcosm of the internet era. Why did this happen? Who is doing this? The group of company CEOs was helpless. This was a battle between gods, and the commoners suffered. They had originally thought that it was just a small matter to help a few kings delete their posts. After all, who would dare to go against a king? However, they didn't expect that someone really dared to directly explode with such great power, causing their company to suffer heavy losses. If regret medicine could be taken, they wouldn't have gotten involved in such a high-level battle even if they were beaten to death. However, it was too late to say anything now. At this moment, within the Pingtian gate. Boss, things are going very smoothly. Right now, our people are spreading the news on all the major forums, Tieba, and other places. I reckon that very soon, everyone will know about it. Feng Hetang said proudly. Moreover, some super hackers seem to be taking advantage of the situation and attacking those internet companies, causing them to temporarily lose their administrative rights. Now, it's impossible to delete the posts even if they want to. He didn't expect something like this to happen. He didn't expect so many allies to help him. It was a pleasant surprise. Very good. Xia Ping was very satisfied. He couldn't be bothered to care about the life and death of those internet companies. They actually dared to help those kings and help the tyrants. Even if they died 100 times, it wouldn't be a pity. As for them being attacked by hackers, it had nothing to do with him. He was just providing an opportunity. Big brother. Feng Hetang's heart skipped a beat. Why don't we take this opportunity to teach the Huo family a lesson? They actually dared to openly deal with Big Brother. They've gone too far. If we don't destroy the Huo family, they won't know that our Pingtian gate has a temper. Xia Ping blinked his eyes. Interesting. How do you want to teach that guy a lesson? Feng Hetang said, according to the investigation, the Huo family is the owner of the largest fast food restaurant in the Cloud Realm, the Huo's fast food restaurant. They have tens of thousands of branches, and their assets are over 1 trillion. They are distributed in all the major cities in the Cloud Realm. They are very rich. Every year, they pay an astronomical amount of taxes, and their profit margin is also very shocking. This is also the Huo family's most important money-making machine. If this company goes bankrupt, the Huo family will probably suffer a great loss. Xia Ping touched his chin. I see. You want to deal with the Huo family's fast food restaurant. That's for sure. Feng Hetang revealed a sinister expression. As a fast food restaurant, the most important thing is the safety of the food. If there's a problem with their food, I'm afraid that all the chain stores will be greatly affected. I see. If we start a rumor that there's a problem with the Huo's fast food restaurant and it might be poisoned, even if it's just a rumor, the Huo family will suffer a great loss. No customers will come again at all. Xia Ping said with a smile. He understood what Feng Hetang meant. Despicable. Su Ji, who was next to him, suddenly opened her beautiful eyes wide. She didn't think that these two bastards would actually discuss a rumor and try to destroy a king family's business empire. They were too audacious. Tu Linglong was so scared that her face turned pale. Humans were really too scary. They even dared to plot against a king. In the Thousand Monster Mountain, which idiot would dare to plot against a king? Were they not afraid of death? As the saying goes, it's better to break 1 finger than to injure 5 fingers. If we don't hurt them, they will think that our Pingtian sect is easy to bully. They dare to bully Big Brother, which is the same as bullying us. If they don't die, who will? Feng Hetang looked like a loyal lackey. Very good. Xia Ping was very satisfied. He was also not worried about the king's revenge. After he bought a super warship, if the king dared to come looking for trouble, he would blast them to death. So what if they were from the King Huo family? They actually dared to stand out and run in front of him, talking nonsense, pointing fingers, and thinking that he was the boss. If he didn't teach them a lesson, they would really think that Xiaoping didn't have a temper. Of course, Big Brother, we are not making a rumor. We have evidence. Feng Hatong revealed a righteous expression. Our Pingtian sect has a disciple who used to be a waiter at the Hua's fast food restaurant. He was also a buyer, so he knows a lot of inside information about the Hua's fast food restaurant. The reason why their fast food restaurant's profit margin is so high is because they cut corners, short on weight, and sell shoddy food as quality. This fast food restaurant claims to have natural ingredients and green food. In fact, all of them are artificially bred. Moreover, they are injected with hormones to create them. For example, their famous was roast chicken. This chicken can grow from an egg to a mature stage in 3 days using genetic engineering technology. This greatly reduces their growth period and allows them to be mass-produced. Chapter 740. What? Hearing this, Su Ji was furious. They actually dared to do this. This is too much. They would do something as stupid as this for money. Why didn't anyone expose them? She trembled when she heard this. She had eaten at the Hua family's fast food restaurant before. When she thought about how all the food there was junk food, she felt disgusted and wanted to vomit. This has been known for a long time, Feng Hatang said. However, the Hua family is a sovereign family. They are extremely powerful and have people in the government, so they can pass the hygiene inspection very quickly. Even if someone wanted to report them, the Hua family would quickly capture them and destroy the world. As time passed, no one dared to expose the Hua family's fast food restaurant anymore. As for the other sovereign families, they probably have some kind of relationship with the Hua family, so they turned a blind eye to it. People won't die from eating this food anyway. He explained it this way. Bullshit. Su Ji was instantly furious. People won't die from eating food? Does that mean people can do anything if they don't die? Nothing happens now, but it doesn't mean nothing will happen in the future. When something really big happens, we'll be completely finished. The Hua family did such immoral things for some money. They should be punished. She didn't expect the Grand Hua family to do such dirty things. However, in reality, it was precisely because the Hua family was an ordinary sovereign family that they were at the bottom even among the other sovereigns. They couldn't compare to the invincible sovereigns at all. Therefore, they could only use this kind of method to earn money. A true invincible sovereign could casually excavate a ruin and earn an astronomical amount of money. There was no need for them to use this kind of method. Do you have evidence? Xia Ping asked. Feng Hatang nodded. Of course. Previously, the Pingtian sect disciple had a conflict with the owner of the Hua family's fast food restaurant. The Hua family purposely took 3 months of his salary. As a result, the owner became angry. He secretly brought a miniature camera and recorded their entire production process. He even recorded a copy of their purchase list. The evidence is conclusive. They can't deny it. Before, some people were afraid of the Hua family's power, so no one dared to report them. However, it's different now. Many internet companies are under a lot of pressure. They definitely can't continue deleting posts. When this matter completely ferments, the Hua family will be dreaming if they want to cover it up. He was very sure. Hee, if that's the case, then we can directly short his company and take the opportunity to make a lot of money. Xia Ping's eyes revealed a cold light, wanting to take advantage of the situation. Shorting Hua's fast food restaurant. Su Ji immediately felt that Xia Ping's move was too ruthless. First, he released these unfavorable news, and then he shorted the company's stock. If he succeeded, he would certainly make a lot of money. By that time, the Hua's fast food restaurant's stock price would plummet to 0, and they might even declare bankruptcy. They wanted to trample the Hua family to death. Brilliant, as expected of Big Brother, you are indeed a cunning old fox. Feng Hatong was very impressed. He just wanted to teach the Huo family a lesson, but he didn't expect them to think of ways to profit from it. What did you say? Xia Ping squinted at him. Feng Hatong immediately quivered and said, No, I'm talking about big brothers strategizing and deciding victory from 1,000 miles away. In terms of intelligence, he can crush that group of stubborn old fogies. Xia Ping nodded, very satisfied. That's good. Immediately gather all the information about the Huo's fast food restaurant, and then explode it all. I want the Huo family to have chicken feathers and duck blood this time. So what if they are a king family? If I don't make them suffer this time, I will change my surname to theirs. His eyes revealed a frightening cold light, filled with murderous intent. Another day passed. Xia Ping immediately shorted Huo's fast food restaurant stock on the stock market, buying as much as he could. He had no intention of hiding his intentions. As a result, this unscrupulous shorting caused the Huo's fast food restaurant's stock price to plummet by 10%, causing a huge shock. Who is it? Who is it? How dare you short our Huo's fast food restaurant stock? Are you tired of living? Do you know that our Huo family's ancestor is a king? A Huo family elder roared, his face changed. He was in charge of the company, so of course he knew that there was a huge fluctuation in the company's stock price. It was obvious that someone was planning to short the company and destroy them. Because a company's stock price fluctuated by more than 3%, it was considered a big drop. Now that it had fallen by 10%, it could be considered a huge drop. For a trillion-dollar company, what did a 10% drop mean? It was like losing hundreds of billions in an instant. Many people who had bought the company's stock were dumbfounded, not knowing what was going on. I found it. The person who is shorting our company's stock is a person called Xia Ping. He has mobilized hundreds of billions of funds. A senior executive immediately found out who was shorting the company's stock from various channels, his face solemn. What? His name is Xia Ping. The Huo family elder's pupils shrank. Of course, he knew that his ancestor had a conflict with Xia Ping not long ago, wanting to steal the demon race's geniuses from him. However, the negotiation failed, so his ancestor was furious and wanted to blacklist Xia Ping. Who would have thought that this son of a bitch would be so daring as to go against the Huo family's company and even want to short the company's stock? He was too arrogant. Boss, what should we do now? Our company's stock is still falling, and it will continue to fall, a senior executive said in a panic, because the cloud world's stock price had no limit. If some stocks encountered a black swan, it was possible for them to fall by 90% in an instant. Buy it immediately. The Huo family elder was furious. He actually wants to short our company's stock. He must be tired of living. If he wants to go bankrupt, I will fulfill his wish. Immediately pull up the stock price. I want to lose this son of a bitch. Shorting was like this. When the stock price fell, you would make money, but when it rose, you would lose money. Yes, the senior executive immediately said. The Huo family's people immediately took action, mobilizing a large amount of the company's internal liquidity to buy back those shares. They bought them back like crazy, temporarily stabilizing the price. It even rose a little more than before the market opened. Ha! Seeing this, the Huo family elder was very proud. This son of a bitch is going to lose money. He wants to fight us with just this bastard. He doesn't even know how to spell the word death. Continue to pull up the stock price. Didn't he want to short our company's stock? Let's see how much money he has to short. This time, I will make him go bankrupt. Chapter 741. Soon, Hui Yongming, the head of the Huo family, also knew about this. He was furious when he heard it. A mere grandmaster dared to be so disrespectful to a king. He even dared to go against a king family. He was too arrogant. Call that kid immediately. I want to ask him what he means. Is he planning to become an enemy of the Huo family by shorting our company's stock? Hu Yongming sneered. An elder wanted to call Xia Ping immediately, but there was a busy tone. He had a strange expression on his face. Head, this kid blacklisted your number. What? Hu Yongming's face turned green. As a king, he had great power. Countless people tried to curry favor with him. It was the other party's honor to call him. But this damned bitch actually dared to put his phone number into the blacklist. This was no longer something that could be described as audacious, it was simply arrogant. I changed my number. Keep calling. Hu Yongming's face was as black as coal. He had lived for so many years and this was the first time he felt so angry. This time, the call went through. Xia Ping's voice came from the communicator. Who is it? Which son of a bitch is calling? If it's a scam, I'll kill you. It's me, Hu Yongming. Hu Yongming suppressed his anger. Xia Ping was surprised. Hu Yongming. Didn't I put your number on the blacklist? Why are you calling? He was indeed blacklisted. Hu Yongming wanted to rush over and beat this arrogant kid up. He even dared to blacklist a king's number. This was too much. It was like a governor calling an ordinary person, but the ordinary person blacklisted the governor. What kind of behavior was this? But he still endured it. Who asked him to stay in Yanhuang University? That was a forbidden place. Even a king couldn't trespass. I don't want to talk nonsense with you. Hu Yongming said straightforwardly, what do you mean by shorting my company's stock today? You didn't even tell me. What are you trying to do? He was here to denounce him. Nothing. I just want to make some money. Xia Ping was very direct. His goal was also very simple. He wanted to make money. Hu Yongming sneered. You want to make money? My Huo family's financial situation is good, and we have high profit margins. How can you just short us whenever you want? If you don't want to continue losing money, then scram immediately. Otherwise, when the Huo family mobilizes its full power, you'll go bankrupt. No one will be able to save you. He warned Xia Ping fiercely. Oh, then I'll wait for you to make me bankrupt. Xia Ping didn't want to talk nonsense and just wanted to hang up. Wait, what do you mean? Do you want to continue fighting against my Huo family? Hu Yongming frowned. He could feel that this kid had a well-thought-out plan and was confident that he could bring down the Huo family's company. In fact, it was precisely because he was aware of this that he specifically called to try and stop this kid from continuing to increase the losses of the Huo family's company. Go against the Huo family? No, it's you, Hu Yongming, who wants to fight against me. Xia Ping said coldly, you were just blabbering nonsense in front of me, trying to use your power to suppress me. Although I don't know how you became a demon's lackey, do you think that you won't pay the price? I can tell you this, it's impossible. This time, if I don't cut a piece of your Huo family's flesh, I won't let it go. He directly expressed his attitude, making it clear that he wanted to take revenge. It was never too late for a gentleman to take revenge, but a villain could take revenge any time. He, Xia Ping, was no gentleman. If someone dared to bite him, he would bite back. He would not be polite. You still want to cut a piece of my Huo family's flesh? Hu Yongming was so angry that he laughed. I want to see how you cut a piece of my Huo family's flesh. I was kind enough to remind you not to go bankrupt, but it's too late now. This time, I'll make you pay until not even a hair is left. With a smack, he immediately hung up the phone, feeling endless anger. Then, he roared at some elders, go, use all the Huo family's resources. This brat still wants to bite a piece of my Huo family's flesh. What a joke. This time, I'll crush all his teeth, and not even a hair will be eaten by him. A mere grandmaster dared to point fingers at a king family and threaten them. He was simply tired of living. Did he really think that the Huo family did not have any means to deal with this brat? Hu Yongming clenched his fists. Therefore, a large amount of the Hu family's funds poured in, continuously pulling up the Hu family's stock price. At the same time, a large amount of short funds came in, continuously pulling down the stock price. In the end, the power of both sides was balanced. The trading volume rose steadily, and the price remained at the opening price. And just when the surrounding people thought that this situation would continue to be deadlocked, earth-shattering news immediately broke out on the internet. Risking death to reveal secret, Hua's fast food restaurant uses waste oil. Heartless, Hua's fast food restaurant uses problematic chicken to make money. Former Hua's fast food restaurant employee found his conscience and bitterly complained about the Hua's dark cuisine. Shocking, none of the Hua's fast food restaurant's food is clean. Their kitchen stinks worse than the sewers. Because of eating Hua's fast food for a long time, some people got cancer and their lives were shortened. Patients can't get compensation. At this time, news after news broke out and spread throughout the entire cloud realm. At the same time, there were many sensational pictures and even videos as evidence, which proved that all the news was true and not fake. Oh my God, is it true? Hua's fast food restaurant actually dares to use such problematic oil. You're a big company. How can you be so heartless just to make money? They used to boast that all their ingredients are green and natural, but now they're all artificially bred and have no nutrition at all. They're all problematic chickens injected with genetic hormones. No wonder I had a stomachache after eating at the Hua's fast food restaurant and had to go to the hospital for surgery. I didn't expect that it was all because of this black-hearted fast food restaurant. We must punish this black-hearted fast food restaurant severely. It's simply a cancer of the cloud realm. I can't imagine how much junk food I've eaten. What is the government doing? Why does it allow such a heartless company to exist? Are those health inspection departments all grown up eating shit? They've been inspecting all day, but they can't find a single problem. Needless to say, they must have been bribed. They turned a blind eye when they came to inspect the hygiene. Anyway, as long as there's no problem, they won't care and just muddle along. If this matter didn't break out, would I have to eat this junk food for the rest of my life? How many people does this Hua's fast food restaurant want to kill? Do they have any conscience? Are they willing to do anything to make money? Chapter 742. The overwhelming scandal of the Hu family on the internet also quickly reached the ears of the Hu family's big shots. Who is it? Which son of a bitch did it? Hu Yongming, the head of the Hu family, roared. How dare they spread rumors about the Hu family? Do they want to die? Investigate. Find out who the hell did this to me. He was enraged, incomparably angry. That's right. Do you think people with ulterior motives can touch the Hu family? Find out which arrogant fellow is it. Immediately send people to kill him and exterminate his entire family. They want to fight the Hu family to the death. They don't even know how to write the word death. We must kill them to scare the monkeys. The elders of the Hu family gritted their teeth in anger. Everyone knew that the Hu family's fast food restaurant was the foundation of the Hu family. It controlled the entire family's economy. If it collapsed, it would definitely be greatly affected. But now, someone dared to spread rumors about the Hu family's fast food restaurant. Wasn't this trying to destroy the Hu family? It would be strange if they weren't furious. I found out. The ones who spread the rumors are Ping Tian's sect. The boss behind them is that damn Xia Ping. A subordinate immediately came forward and received the news. What? That damn Xia Ping again. He shorted our stock before and now he's spreading rumors about the Hu family. He's clearly plotting against us. An elder clenched his teeth. A mere grandmaster dares to go against a king family. How can he be so daring? Why not? He even captured a few descendants of the demon kings and auctioned them off in public. There's nothing he doesn't dare to do. Is there any way to punish him? This guy is a shit stirrer. He messes around all day and affects the unity of the family. There's nothing we can do. He's an important target of the giant company. Many kings want to protect him. If it's done openly, they might close one eye. But if it's done in the dark, even to the point of harming someone's life, they definitely won't sit idly by. Are we just going to watch this little bastard cause trouble for the Hua family? When did the Hua family fall to this state? I've long said that kid is not to be trifled with. He's famous for being a thorn in our side. Now, offending that kid is like offending a mad dog that bites at our weak spots. Shut up. If you dare to question the patriarch's decision, I'll slap you. The group of elders of the Hua clan were discussing fervently. Some of them wanted to deal with Xia Ping directly, making him disappear from this world. However, Xia Ping was someone from the giant company, and the Hua clan couldn't afford to offend him. Moreover, the other party was at Yanhuang University. Even if they wanted to send someone to assassinate him, it would be impossible. If it was that simple, the group of demon kings would have sent people to kill Xia Ping long ago. How could it be their turn? Hua Yongming's expression was extremely gloomy. Previously, that brat was still spouting nonsense, saying that he wanted to destroy the Hua family. He didn't believe him, but now that he saw this thunderous method, it really seemed like the Hua family was going to collapse. Now, he was a little regretful. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have come out personally. Was it worth it to offend such a cruel thorn for such a small benefit? But it was too late now. Is there any way to delete all the negative news and completely clean it up? Hua Yongming asked in a low voice. A subordinate said awkwardly, "We can't. The internal network of those internet companies was attacked by hackers, and the database can't be restored in a short time. We temporarily lost control. It will take 24 hours to get the authority to delete those posts." He indicated that this was very difficult. Bullshit. An elder of the Hua clan said angrily, "If we wait 24 hours, this public opinion will have already spread. At that time, the public will be furious. Is there any use in deleting the posts? Can we still cover it up?" The subordinates were also extremely sullen. Even if they were angry at them, it would be useless. After all, this was an unexpected incident, and it was very difficult to find a solution in a short time. Oh no. Suddenly, a subordinate in the distance received a phone call, and his expression changed. "Lord Patriarch, many health bureaus in the Cloud Realm have been sent out to investigate the hygiene of our company's restaurants. They've all come to seize them." What? Many of the Hua clan's elders' expressions changed. As the saying goes, hit the snake where it hurts. Public opinion was just public opinion. No matter how big the noise was, it couldn't hurt the Hua clan at all. But the health bureaus were a fatal blow. If they didn't deal with it properly, they would really collapse. What's going on? An elder shouted, "What's wrong with those health bureau people? We usually give them so much money just to cover up their crimes. Now, we haven't even fed them enough. Why didn't they tell us when they came to investigate us?" Usually, in order to maintain local relations, they would give money from time to eat with those officials. They didn't expect that group of people to betray them at such a critical moment. Ingrates, they're all ingrates. They've given so much money, but they've all been fed to dogs. Not a single one of them is reliable at the critical moment. An elder said angrily. "Don't people trust each other at all?" Someone asked, "What's going on? Didn't they hear anything when they came to investigate us?" It's said that a high-ranking federal official brought his family to eat at the Hua clan's fast food restaurant. They ended up getting food poisoning and were hospitalized. At first, he thought that he was unlucky and might have eaten something unclean elsewhere, the subordinate said helplessly. But today, when he saw the news on the internet, he suddenly became furious. He thought that the Hua clan's restaurant had harmed them, so he ordered a thorough investigation of the Hua clan's fast food restaurant. He even said that if the director didn't dare to investigate, he would replace him. So, those who took our money didn't dare to say anything. They were afraid that they would be exposed and arrested. He said that there was nothing he could do. How could this be? Hearing this, the Hua family elders felt like they were going to faint. As the saying goes, if you always walk by the river, you'll get your shoes wet. Nothing happened for so long, so they thought that they would be safe for the rest of their lives. But there was always a time when something happened. Once something happened, everything was over. In fact, even if this incident didn't happen, the Health Bureau would investigate them sooner or later. Once the public opinion was completely fermented, they would be finished. Now that this happened, it was only a matter of time before the Health Bureau would investigate them. Xia Ping. With a bang, Hu Yongming slapped a black pear table in front of him. Immediately, a terrifying force exploded, and the table, which was as hard as steel, was smashed into pieces. The terrifying force even spread to the ground, creating a deep pit with a diameter of several meters. The surrounding rocks were shattered into powder, and the entire room shook as if there was a magnitude 7 earthquake. Chapter 743. The next day, the Health Bureau closed down the Hua family's fast food restaurant. The news spread like wildfire all over the cloud world. Countless ordinary people were shocked and stunned. Damn it! The Hua family's fast food restaurant is so wicked. They made us eat this. It's not food. It's obviously feces. I heard that people won't die from eating it. Die my ass. You won't die from eating feces. Do you want to eat it? Punish the Hua family's fast food restaurant and close it down. The crowd was furious. They demanded that the fast food restaurant be severely punished and that all the people in charge be imprisoned for decades. They even had to compensate the consumers for their losses. The stock market was also the most sensitive market. Although the Health Bureau hadn't issued an order to close it down, the people who invested in the market had already noticed it. When the market opened that morning, the Hua family's stock price plummeted by 30%. As the bad news spread, countless individual investors panicked and fled. This accelerated the decline of the stock price. When the market closed, it had fallen by 80%. It could be said that 80% of the Hua family's market value had evaporated in one day. It was a heavy loss. Countless children of the Hua family were wailing. They hadn't suffered such a big loss in the past decades. Xia Ping also took the opportunity to settle the short sale income. He made a total of 500 billion federal coins. Not only did he make up for his losses, but he also made a lot of money. All of this was from cutting off the Hua family's flesh. Family head, that bastard Xia Ping made 500 billion from us. 500 billion. He's cutting off our flesh and eating our bones. An elder of the Hua family said angrily. The Hua family's miserable situation showed how fat Xia Ping was. He had made a lot of money from the people, but all of it was from them. Family head, you must make that shameless bastard pay the price for making the Hua family so miserable. An elder gritted his teeth. If he saw Xia Ping here, he would bite him like a mad dog. He wasn't the only one who thought so. All the elders of the Hua family had the same thought. They wanted to skin Xia Ping alive. Xia Ping, just you wait. The Hua family will not rest until you die. Hu Yongming clenched his fists. His veins were bulging, and his heart was bleeding. He didn't know how painful it was to lose so much money for nothing. Most importantly, the Hua family's most important source of income had been cut off by this swindler. As the saying goes, cutting off one's path to wealth is like killing one's parents. One can imagine their anger. At this moment, in the headquarters of the Pingtian sect. Big brother, we've won a complete victory this time. This time, the Hua family will be crying for their parents. I bet they won't dare to be arrogant anymore. Feng Hatong was proud of himself. Even if you beat him to death, he would never have thought that he could make a king family suffer such heavy losses. This was something he could never have dreamed of when he was on Yanhuang's star. Well said. Everyone has worked hard this time. Later, I will treat everyone to a meal to express my gratitude. Xia Ping said carelessly, indicating that he would treat everyone to a meal. Stingy, why are you so stingy? Hearing this, Su Ji looked at Xia Ping with contempt. You earned 500 billion federal coins, but you only treated everyone to a meal. Why can't you be a little more stingy? She despised Xia Ping's character very much. Obviously, everyone had put in so much effort, but this shameless bastard casually treated them to a meal and sent them away. She had never seen such a stingy person. At the very least, he would give them a big red packet to celebrate. It's not that I can't take the money, but if I give it, will anyone dare to take it? Xia Ping said with a smile. Feng Hatang and the others were very guilty. They knew where this money came from. It was all from the Hu family. If someone dared to take this money, they would be an enemy of the Hu family. Thinking about this, they felt a chill all over their bodies. If they were regarded as enemies by the King family, they would not be able to live in peace for the rest of their lives. This was not money, but explosives that could be detonated at any time. Only a ruthless person like Xia Ping would not care about offending the Hu family. If he dared to use the Hu family's money to swagger through the market, others would have to think twice. Full of nonsense. Su Ji did not think that this was the case. It was definitely because this guy was very stingy. He said it was because he was worried about the Hu family's revenge. He was really worried. Why wasn't he worried before doing this, but after succeeding, he was worried? Was there such a reason? Alright, I admit it. The reason why I am not willing to give so much money is because I need to accumulate the dowry for marrying you. Otherwise, how can I go to the Su family to propose? Xia Ping admitted that he indeed had an ulterior motive. Bullshit, who wants your dowry? Su Ji was so angry that her face turned red. This guy already had ideas about her, but he still wanted to go to the Su family to propose. His intentions were sinister. Hearing this, Feng Hatang suddenly realized, brilliant, truly brilliant. As expected of Big Brother. If you marry the Su family's daughter, in the future, Big Brother will be the Su family's son-in-law. With the Su family's protection and backing, a mere Hu family is nothing. It can't even be compared to a strand of the Su family's leg hair. The other lackeys also looked at Xia Ping with incomparable admiration. They reckoned that this 500 billion was used as an investment. If it was used as a betrothal gift to the Su family, it would probably make the Su family dizzy. Moreover, with the King Su family as his backing, in the future, he would be able to walk sideways in the cloud realm. What's more, he would be able to marry a super beauty. No matter how they looked at it, this was a profitable business. Big Brother was indeed Big Brother. He had great foresight. Just his mind alone was not something that they, the lackeys, could figure out. First of all, in terms of realm, they were not on the same level. Xia Ping proudly said, "Isn't that so? In the future, if you cause any trouble, just look for the Su family. Whoever dares to provoke me, I will cut them to death." He indicated that after becoming the Su family's son-in-law, he would use the Su family's power to act like a tyrant, and eat, drink, and fish. Shameless. Su Ji was half dead with anger. If this rogue really relied on the Su family, wouldn't the Su family be in big trouble in the future? She didn't know how many times she had to clean up this bastard's mess. Perhaps, because this shameless Xia Ping offended too many people, the big Su family was finally brought down. How could he be a son-in-law? He was more like a maggot who specialized in sucking the Su family's blood. Now, his wild ambition was exposed, and he still wanted to eat and drink in the Su family. Sister-in-law. So that's how it is. With sister-in-law's protection, what do we have to be afraid of? In the future, we will follow Big Brother and sister-in-law to eat and drink, act like a tyrant, and bring disaster to the village. I hope big brother and sister-in-law can get married soon and have a son soon. A group of Pingtian sect's disciples went up to flatter and flatter. Chapter 744. At this time, in a dark castle somewhere in the cloud world, there were many skeletons, zombies, ghosts, and other dark creatures. The surrounding area was filled with a gloomy aura. A human king lived here. His name was Peng Dong. A servant came to report that someone was holding an auction for the geniuses of the demon race. What did you say? Hearing this, Peng Dong's eyes brightened. A crow of misfortune is being auctioned, and one with an extremely thick bloodline. This is a genius of the demon race. They usually live in the Thousand Monster Mountain and have no chance of getting one. I didn't expect to be captured and auctioned. Interesting. Yes, master, but the price is very high. The starting price is 300 billion federal coins, the servant reported. He felt that the price was too high. Peng Dong's expression didn't change at all. To kings, especially powerful kings, a mere 300 billion federal coins wasn't much and wasn't worth mentioning. It was just that the treasure was not worth the price. The crow of misfortune has many mysteries of death. Legend has it that they are a race from hell. If I can capture and dissect them, I will definitely benefit greatly. This will help me on my path to becoming a king. His eyes flickered, and he immediately made up his mind to bid. It was not easy to come across a situation like this where he could openly obtain a genius of the demon clan. If he missed this opportunity, he did not know how long he would have to wait. Moreover, this was beneficial to his cultivation. He could not miss it. In a huge dark cave, there were many dark tunnels. A large number of demon mosquitoes appeared here. This was where the demon mosquito race lived. Each demon mosquito was the size of a fist. Some were even the size of a human. They had a terrifying blood-sucking ability. Once they got close to the enemy, they would instantly suck the enemy's blood dry and turn them into a dried corpse. Moreover, there were many of them. Thousands of them could appear at any time. It was a disaster. At this time, a mosquito king lived in the depths of the cave. It was the size of a small mountain and was completely black. It emitted a dark and oppressive aura that made people tremble. Mosquito King, the genius of the spider race, seems to have been captured by a human and is being auctioned on the human network. A subordinate reported this to the Mosquito King. It knew that the Mosquito King was very interested in many news. The genius of the venomous spider race has been captured. Hearing this, the Mosquito King laughed ferociously. Good catch. Back then, the spider race treated us as food and killed countless demon mosquitoes. Even my grandfather was eaten alive by the Spider King. This hatred is irreconcilable. Now, there's actually a venomous spider genius being auctioned. This is an extremely rare opportunity. I have to win it. I want to capture it and torture it to pay homage to my grandfather's spirit in heaven. A cold glint appeared in its eyes. Venomous spiders were also a tyrannical race in the Thousand Goblin Mountain. Even if it wanted to take revenge, it was impossible. Many goblin kings would not allow it to take action, so it could only endure. However, now that there was a chance to obtain the descendant of the hypervenomous spider, a heavenly genius, it definitely wouldn't let this opportunity go. It was going to buy him, capture him, torture him, and take revenge. Deep in the endless sea, there was a palace on the seabed where many races lived. These races were called the sea monsters. They had different forms and kinds. These sea monsters weren't from the land goblin race. They were completely different. Usually, they didn't interact with each other. Even before humans came, they would fight with the land goblin race from time to time, resulting in countless casualties. The master of this palace was the Goblin King who ruled over a part of the Sea Shark King. King. A sea monster reported, recently, something big happened in the human world. Someone captured a few goblin heavenly geniuses and auctioned them. Even though the price is high, many people want to participate. He told the Sea Shark King everything that had happened recently in full detail. What? Even the three-eyed giant race's heavenly geniuses were captured. Hearing this, the Sea Shark King was shocked. Very quickly, his eyes flashed, revealing all sorts of calculations. Right, this is indeed a good opportunity. The three-eyed giant race is a special race. Their third eye has all sorts of abilities. If we can dig out their third eye and use a secret technique to solidify it, we can make a secret treasure. Normally, capturing a three-eyed giant, an outstanding three-eyed giant at that, would be more difficult than ascending to the heavens. But now, things are different. Auction. We'll participate in the auction too. He was very excited, feeling that this was a great opportunity. King, there are many people participating in the auction this time. I'm afraid the price will be sky high, a sea monster reminded. The Sea Shark King sneered. That's nothing. In terms of wealth, who can compare to us undersea races? We have countless treasures. Any one of them can smash those poor people to death. It revealed a look of wealth and arrogance. In fact, the undersea demon kings were famous for their wealth. After all, the undersea world itself was a huge treasure trove. One could easily obtain a large number of treasures. Other than that, many kings also knew about this. Blackwater explosive bear. My granddaughter seems to want such a bear as a pet. Also, it has the potential to become a goblin king. This is a good birthday gift. The metal tiger is not bad. It has the ability to swallow countless metals in the world. It has endless potential. If we can tame it, it will be a great help in the future. I like the one-horned thunder bull. It can be a mount. It's gentle and easy to tame. The metal tiger is different. It's ambitious and hard to tame. Even if we buy it, it won't submit. Hee, that's not necessarily true. I have a special taming method. Even if it's wild, it will be tamed quickly. But the juniors these days are really incredible. Even the demon race's geniuses are captured and auctioned. This is unheard of. It's too exaggerated. Maybe we'll get to know him. As long as he doesn't die, that kid will definitely become something great. Around the world, countless kings knew that Xia Ping was going to hold an auction. They all had different goals. They wanted to buy these demon race's geniuses. However, to Xia Ping, he didn't care what they wanted. As long as he had enough money, nothing was a problem. Another 2 days passed, and it was time for the auction. On this day, Xia Ping held an auction on the online store and broadcast it live. Chapter 745. Countless people had gathered on the live broadcast platform. The number of people watching had already exceeded 100 million. My God, this is the highest number of people in history. It's already exceeded 100 million. This is unprecedented. Even the most popular female celebrity in the cloud realm can't compare to this. It can't be helped. This is an auction for the geniuses of the Yao clan. If we miss this opportunity, there won't be another one. Indeed, this is too rare. It might not happen even once in 10 years. When will the auction start? Why haven't I seen him yet? Soon. There's still a few more minutes. No, he's out. That kid's already out. Countless people in the live broadcast room were anxiously waiting for Xia Ping to come out. They couldn't wait to see the auction start. The liveliness was comparable to returning home for the new year. Whoosh! Xia Ping's figure soon appeared on the live broadcast platform. Countless kings' gazes immediately focused on this kid. They wanted to see what kind of superhuman abilities this guy had. Many Yao kings in the Thousand Monster Mountain were gnashing their teeth. They wanted to tear this human into pieces. It was because of this guy that the Yao clan had suffered such great humiliation. Hello, everyone. Xia Ping greeted them. It's an honor for everyone to come to this auction. I believe this auction will be worth it. You won't be disappointed. Hearing this, someone immediately shouted, "Kid, your starting price is too high. It's at least 300 billion federal coins. Who can afford it? Why don't you lower the price? Otherwise, I'm afraid this auction won't be sold." He hoped that Xia Ping would lower the price. Scram! Xia Ping was not polite at all. "Don't talk here if you don't have money. Do you think this place is for the poor? You can't afford it, but some people can. Even if it really isn't sold, it doesn't matter. Anyway, with the geniuses of the Yao clan as battle servants, I won't lose anything." He was confident. Even if it really wasn't sold, so what if no one was willing to bid? He could keep the geniuses of the Yao clan by his side. They would also be super fighters. Damn it! Many Yao kings clenched their teeth in anger. Their plan to scare Xia Ping had failed. He didn't care at all whether the auction would be successful or not. Even if it failed, he wouldn't care. If he could sell it, he would be lucky. If he couldn't sell it, he would keep it by his side. This kid wouldn't lose anything. Alright, enough with the nonsense. Xia Ping went straight to the point. Today, the first demon race heavens chosen is the Crow of Misfortune. I don't need to say more about its preciousness. It has a noble bloodline, and legend has it that it came from hell. It is not inferior to any divine beast bloodline. If I can get it and turn it into a battle pet, it will be a super fighter with endless benefits. He vigorously introduced the benefits of the Crows of Misfortune. Damn it! When the elder of the Hell Crow race saw this, he was so angry that his face turned green. The genius of his race was being auctioned off in front of everyone, and they were even criticizing him. It was as though they were selling pigs. Seeing such a scene, they wanted to faint. It was too embarrassing. The Raven King's face was as black as charcoal. Although he didn't say a word, everyone knew how angry he was right now. He simply wanted to kill Xia Ping immediately. Not bad, it is indeed a real Crow of Misfortune. It's worth it. I bid 350 billion federal coins. As soon as the auction started, someone immediately shouted and participated in the auction. It was the human king, Peng Dong. He saw the Crow of Misfortune in the broadcast room and confirmed that it was not a fake. He was very satisfied and immediately made a bid. What? Many people were shocked. They originally thought that with such a high starting price, it was possible that it would not be sold. Now, someone actually participated in the auction at the first moment and raised the price by 50 billion federal coins. However, how could they know the wealth of a king? If they really liked something, they would go bankrupt to get it. A mere few hundred billion was nothing to them. A bunch of poor people. The one who spoke was the Sea Shark King. His face was full of disdain as he shouted, "The Crow of Misfortune is indeed not bad. I can buy it to guard the door. This king wants it. I bid 500 billion federal coins." As soon as these words came out, everyone felt a little dizzy. To directly raise the price to 500 billion federal coins, this was too exaggerated. It was not enough to describe it as throwing away 1,000 gold coins. Scam, this is definitely a scam. A demon king shouted, thinking that this guy was definitely a scam. Otherwise, how could he suddenly raise the price to such a high price? It was completely unreasonable. Shady, there are too many shady things here. Despicable and shameless human, a good auction actually needs to be scammed. Where is your conscience? Scamming us of so much money, does your conscience feel uneasy? Could it be that all of it has been fed to the dogs? Protest, protest against the human using scams to maliciously raise the price. Many demon kings shouted, thinking that the human was using scams to maliciously raise the price. His methods were extremely vile. If this was a normal auction, who would suddenly raise the price by 200 billion federal coins? This was simply a lunatic, with so much money that there was nowhere else to spend it. In fact, many people were also bewildered. Was there really someone willing to spend so much money to buy a demon race prodigy? This price was really too exaggerated. Even a king family would find it hard to take out so much money at once. After all, the king family was very big and needed money everywhere. They didn't have much liquid funds either. Scam your sister. Who dares to use this king as a scam? If you don't have money, don't talk here. Scram. The sea shark king sneered. A bunch of poor people eat steamed buns all day long. Do you think everyone in the world eats steamed buns? When this king used the spirit fluid to brush his teeth, you guys weren't even born yet. What? Many demon kings were mad. This auctioneer was so arrogant and didn't put them in his eyes at all. Moreover, his tone was very despicable, similar to that shameless human. If this guy wasn't a scam, no one would believe it. Xia Ping couldn't be bothered with these troublesome demon kings and said directly, if no one has a higher price, then the crow of misfortune belongs to this bidder. Hearing this, the crow of misfortune race's hair stood on end. They were extremely nervous and didn't care if this guy was a scam. If he wasn't a scam, then if he fell into the hands of this mysterious person, they would probably never return. The prodigy of the crow of misfortune race would probably never return. No, we must rescue our race's prodigy. Otherwise, if he is auctioned away by someone else, how can we find him? We can't allow this to happen, the elder of the crow of misfortune race roared. At this moment, they couldn't care less if there was something fishy going on or if the other party was a scam. They could only directly bid and buy the prodigy of their race.